great day to be alive on this Thursday. You, KBN Nation, chiming in, and we're going to need you to chime in because apparently we're not very good at what we do. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. You can also get us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee, and I believe at ESPN Madison. You can choose however you want to see us. But I'm Ben Brust alongside our Packer backer, Packer owner, the guy who loves wearing shirts from 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
His name is Kyle Wallace.
What's happening? It's a Thirsty Thursday, indeed. Cold Thirsty Thursday, slippery Thirsty Thursday. I hope everybody made it into work or wherever you were going safely today. What?
Did you wake up excited to see snow? I did.
No.
I didn't.
I was like, let's go, man.
I wasn't mad. I wasn't happy. I was just like, it is what it is. I mean, we live here. Here's the snow.
The first snow is just magical, though, isn't it?
It usually is, but I don't know why today I wasn't like, oh, this is magical. I think there's something to if you wake up on a Saturday. Right? If you were to wake up on a Saturday and, there's something to you get to stay around the house, maybe like
throw on College Game Day.
Yeah. Feel the vibes of winter, but you're like, oh, damn. Traffic's gonna be worse. Got to drop off the baby. That might be worse. There's just more to think about. So it's not like we're not kids anymore, Brad. And you now are taking care of two young children as you're fostering two great baby boys.
Oh, sure.
And it ain't about you anymore.
It's not about me anymore. I found that out last night even because we were talking about how hot the studio is. And
Ben started stripping.
Yeah, and she is stripping.
Stripping mean taking off my Patagonia because it's too hot.
Patagonia, cool.
Yeah, I know, right? You could have said sweater, jacket, but you had to just drop the P word, huh?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, but sacrifices across the board because we know that Lexi and I like to sleep with it very cold.
As do I. It's the best.
Very cold. Even in the wintertime, even last night, normally with no other kids in our house, we probably would even prop the window open. I mean, we're freezing in there. But you know what? With these little boys, you make the sacrifice. You get warm, no fan, just can't allow them to freeze. But today, first snowfall of their life. Not for your daughter. She experienced that.
I had said that when I got out of the shower. I was like, oh, it's baby girl's, it's our daughter's first snowfall.
Yeah.
She was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
She was born January 27th.
It was a whirlwind at that.
I wasn't thinking about what the weather was. We're just trying to keep the baby alive.
Speaking of the snowfall, so obviously this is my first time in this new neighborhood that I stay in. In my old neighborhood, a little bit more laid back, more chill when it comes to shoveling snow.
Oh, is everyone up and at 'em?
Well, no, because I live with some older folks and some people that move a little bit slower and later than I do. But I was concerned about, shoveling the snow. I'll be looked at if I don't shovel the snow till I get home. So I started shoveling, and then I was like, well, I can't do this right now.
You don't have a snowblower?
No, I have a shovel. I don't have enough space to have a snowblower. I would have a snowblower.
So
if I
you're
needed
gonna
one.
shovel every time it snows this winter?
Yeah, I have a
shovel.
I have a great shovel. Yeah, I got a great shovel. You just make the pathway. Yeah, it takes me maybe 30 minutes.
What makes a great shovel?
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't a shovel a shovel?
Is it good leverage, lightweight?
Yeah, it is. I don't like giving free advertisement, but there's this thing called a Snow Joe, and it literally has two handles. It has a handle like a regular shovel, and then halfway down it, there's another handle there that easily allows for you to push the snow and then lift the snow and throw the snow. It's called a Snow Joe. Listen, they so good. They so good is that my dad saw my shovel. He's like, I need one of them.
Oh, wow.
I got him one. So he got one.
Usually
too.
it's the parent teaching the kid. Today it's the kid teaching the parent.
Yeah, because my dad has a snowblower, but it halfway works. So I got him a Snow Joe.
Well, what we're talking about first snow and snow shovels and whatnot. Kyle's first time being a homeowner doing that. Something that wasn't for the first time was Ben Brust's reunion.
That's right.
With Scalzo and Brust and Josh DiMaggio.
Last night, live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel, the weekly wager from 6 to 7. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, and Josh DiMaggio all together again.
I'm surprised you showed up today.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you weren't just like,
I ain't gonna lie, boys. You guys can give me crap. But yesterday was validation that life is better without Greg Scalzo and Josh DiMaggio.
Oh, that's good. We getting bullied and picked on.
I wasn't expecting that.
Scheduled to appear is Greg Scalzo at 3:30, but within the first 5 minutes of the show, where typically I'm one of the hosts that are there regularly for the weekly wager, Josh DiMaggio pops in within the first 2 minutes and goes, I got a bone to pick with you.
Oh,
and then it just turned into the old show of me being, ripped on by Greg and Josh.
The whipping
Now, you
boy.
guys can rip on me. That's fine. But the way that they do it is just vicious and mean.
Vicious.
I saw the video that you put up, the little tease video, how they started ripping you already. I like the way they rip you. They call you out for anything and everything.
Any and everything.
I'm going to have to be, I don't have that in my
But that's
body.
what I'm saying.
I know,
but
that's
I have
what-
to figure out how
you
to do
can't
it.
figure out. Like, it's just who they are. They are bullies by nature.
Yeah,
you guys are
accept
lovers
it.
and great people by nature.
Yeah, we
so
gotta
I'm
be worse,
surrounded.
man.
I'm surrounded by just wonderful hosts on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, and that's all I was thinking about. The first segment of the Weekly Wager, I was like, oh man, I can't wait for 2:00. So I see Smiling Brad, Permagrin over here, Permagrin to my right. These two smiling buffoons every day from 2 to 5 on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
See, I thought maybe you would be like, oh, I have to be back. Stop with all the kissing. No way kissing this behind. What
And
does
I-
not mean?
and I-
He's kissing your ass.
He's just
being
mad that I
real.
even kiss his butt yet.
Oh, you don't need to kiss my butt.
you know-
I think I'm more in the Scalzo and Joshy school of bullying than I am the Brad and Kyle area of ass kissing.
I agree. Oh, I mean, you definitely
That's
are
a
a little.
rough way to color it right
Nah,
there.
you guys are pro ass kissers.
No,
So are you,
oh,
pal.
absolutely not.
I'm dead. Yeah, for sure.
It's a skill, really. I mean, if you
It's a youngest child thing for me.
Yeah, me too. I'm a youngest child as
Me
well.
3, I guess.
I just-
Makes
Me
3 of
4.
us. Oh, wow.
Kiss my way to whatever I want.
We're all youngest siblings?
I guess so.
Yeah.
We just
Oh
figured that
wow.
out.
That's,
That
that speaks a lot to the
That makes
thesis
sense.
of all of us.
That makes sense.
I guess.
thesis of all of us?
Yeah.
What the hell are you trying to
The
say?
thesis of the show is based off the fact that
Oh,
we're
thesis
all
of the show.
needy younger children.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
needy? Do I come off as needy?
Hell yeah.
A little bit needy,
Really?
Kyle.
Hey, baby girl, I need this. Hey, baby girl, I
Yeah.
need that. It's going to be this way. It's going to be
Kyle
that way.
Karen gotta have his
Maybe I'm the
way.
problem.
Calling
I-
others out.
Yeah, I did call the rental car company yesterday over something very minute and got mad simply because they weren't truthful. You gotta be truthful. You gotta be honest with me now. You ain't honest with me, I'm gonna want my money back.
800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talking text line, and I need you to remember that phone number because you're gonna have to help us. Because apparently, on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 94.5 ESPN, Jason Wilde, who'll be joining us at 2:30, took a little stray shot at us, boys. We'll let you listen in, KBN Nation, to what Jason Wilde had to say when he joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Tuesday morning.
Don't tell KBN. But the questions on this program are the best that I get all week. So I really appreciate having to think about my answers. Sorry.
Are you complimenting
I
us
think
to stall so you can come up with an answer?
No. I think it's important to compliment people. I really do. I think that's really important, and we don't do it enough.
All right, so I'm a little confused. First, we need to help Jason think harder on the questions we ask him. But then in the same breath, he says it's important that we take the time to compliment people. So he didn't compliment us, and we don't make him think. So if you guys want to help us out, Jason's at 2:30. If our questions don't make him think, I trust KBN Nation to come up with some brain busters.
I really appreciate having to think.
800-990-3776 with Jason Wilde scheduled to appear at 2:30. Please help us. We want Jason to think.
Yeah, we need some good quality KBN Nation questions. And you guys challenge us. Let's challenge Jason Wilde. Let's make his brain think, unlike how it usually is on his appearances on KBN, because clearly we gotta press him a little bit more.
And there's no
I
questions.
blame Kyle.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I think Kyle's
Okay.
questions are the problem.
You know, I mean,
That's probably true.
No, the things I really want to ask Jason, I can't.
Why?
Why not?
Because it might derail us, or
What's a question
us an
that you want to
example.
Well,
ask?
I don't know. Like, I just like asking. I like messy stuff. You know, I like.
That's why you
stuff,
like reality TV.
Exactly. I like the juicy stuff. So I believe last week he was talking about the fact that he didn't want to be late to the meeting with Rich Bisaccia because Rich Bisaccia this. I want to ask more questions about the juicy stuff. Forget all the Packers talk. I want to get to the nitty-gritty of the juice because maybe some of the juice might open up some cans of what he may have heard or what he may have seen. Because Jason has tidbits now, but he just doesn't always share some of those insights and tidbits that he has.
Are you saying you want to ask a question like, is there contention between you and the coaching staff, Jason?
Yeah, something like that. Or why do you think Rich Bisaccia
Stir
has
it
it
up.
out for you?
Oh,
Is it
I like
because-
stirring it up.
Do you think he
Lombardi
doesn't like
Avenue.
reading the articles whenever you write something negative about his special teams? Is that why?
Ask it. Have a backbone.
I like Jason. I don't want to beef with Jason.
It's not
But
beef.
he beefed with us.
He did start beef with us, so it's all no.
It was such a stray.
We don't
That's
make
the
him
thing.
think.
The cuffs are off now. KBN Nation, I want any and all questions. No hold bars.
It's not like Gabe said, hey, who asks better questions, KBN or Jen, Gabe, and Chewy? He just asked a random quality Green Bay Packer question, and he just started with, unlike KBN. Don't tell KBN. Meanwhile, his voice is aired across these airwaves, so you know we're going to hear it.
I don't even want an apology.
Why not?
Don't tell KBN.
Yeah, because I don't want an apology. I just want to make sure that when KBN Nation sends us the questions, he answers all these good dang questions. Because I know KBN Nation is going to have some fantastic questions
We'll ask
that
the
we're
best
going
ones.
to pepper him with.
Jason Wilde, respected journalist and Packers guy of ESPN Wisconsin, says that Kyle Brust and Nortman asks him questions that don't make him think.
Don't tell KBN.
800-990-3776. What questions should we ask Jason Wilde about the Green Bay Packers, or whatever you want? Don't hold back.
Yeah, I was
At 2:30.
Yeah, let's get personal.
I almost said something. I do think them answers be long as hell.
Oh.
Don't tell KBN.
Don't tell Jason that. But that's the thing, is Jason would admit that he knows he's long-winded. So that's not telling anything he doesn't know.
Oh, okay.
Don't tell KBN.
800-990-3776. He's at 2:30. I do want your questions for Jason Wilde, since we don't make him think. But we have a question that we came up with that I think we do a great job with. Alex Strofe producing the show, Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, Kyle Wallace. We come together and we put together questions for all of you that we like to have answers for and you to have answers for. I'll tell you what our question is for our next segment. Coming up next, it's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I'm a seam head now. You can call me whatever you want.
Seam head.
I don't even know what that is. You have to
That means
explain
I'm a
it to me.
baseball dork. All I do is sit and watch MLB Big Inning at night.
Head.
I've never heard that before.
This is because you're not a seam head.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game. So that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry. Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put two and two
I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnover.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Take the stress out of the holiday season with the Milwaukee Bucks. Get all your shopping done with Bucks deal season offers, featuring great gifts and limited time packages that even Scrooge will love. Score deals for everyone on your list, including yourself, from the Milwaukee Bucks and Pfizer Forum. 'Tis the season for cheer with your favorite deer. After all, there's no place like Pfizer Forum for the holidays. Shop the offers today at bucks.com/deal season.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're looking for a truly unique luxury SUV, look no further than the new Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha.
The new Range Rover Sport SUV provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology and connectivity you want, plus the most luxurious ride.
And now is a great time to get an offer like this.
Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 48 months on a new 2024 Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
It's on to state for Catholic Memorial.
Mitchell takes it himself. He breaks off a few tackles, and MJ Mitchell is into the end zone to put Catholic Memorial up by 3 scores.
On Friday, the Crusaders take on undefeated Notre Dame for a chance at the Division III title. Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and D&M Accounting and Consulting Service. Kickoff happens at 10 a.m. Friday, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page.
Confidence and strength begin with how you feel. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, it is not about just looking good. It's about results that last and empower you. With 5 convenient locations in Delafield, Mequon, Brookfield, Middleton, and Sheboygan, their team of world-class plastic surgeons, skilled clinicians, and expert estheticians are here to help you take control. Whether it's advanced skincare, anti-aging treatments, body contouring, or muscle strengthening, Quintessa has everything you need to sharpen your image and boost your confidence. Take the first step towards a stronger, more confident you. Visit myquintessa.com today.
All you men, listen up. It's future Mrs. Brust here. I want to tell you about my wonderful experience at Robert Hack Diamonds. My fiance Ben and the team at Robert Hack picked out my dream engagement ring for me, and then I personally worked with their team to pick out the perfect wedding band. Experience what I did at Robert Hack Diamonds. Stop in at their Brookfield or Greenfield location. While you're there, mention ESPN and spend at least $2,000 right now on any of their in-stock jewelry and get a free pair of 2-carat total weight diamond studs. It's a deal you can't pass up. If it wasn't for Robert Hack Diamonds and their team of jewelry experts, I wouldn't have trusted my fiance Ben to make the right call. View what they have in stores online at roberthackdiamonds.com and get free diamond stud earrings. All you have to do is mention ESPN at their Brookfield or Greenfield locations when purchasing at least $2,000 of in-stock jewelry. I promise you won't be disappointed.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Apparently at Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, which is who we are, we don't ask good questions to Jason Wilde, who'll be joining us at 2:30. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Strophe running the show. KBN Nation at 800-990-3776. If you missed it, here's what Jason had to say on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy when talking with those folks.
Don't tell KBN, but the questions on this program are the best that I get all week. So I really appreciate having to think about my answers. Sorry.
Are you complimenting us to stall so you can come up with an answer?
No. I think it's important to compliment people. I really do. I think that's really important, and we don't do it enough.
I'm waiting on those compliments. I'll tell you that much. We don't do it enough, but we got to make them think. I see your questions.
Don't tell KBN.
I see your questions coming through. 800-990-3776. Since we ask bad questions, it's time for KBN Nation to help us with some questions for Jason at 2:30. But before we get to Jason Wilde and your questions that you can continuously send in, I want to know, because there's two, I would say, of the bigger games of the season coming up. The 49ers at 5-5, despite their record and despite where they are, they're in desperation in that NFC West, and there's been some run-ins with Kyle Shanahan and the Packers in the playoffs, and they've been okay against them in the regular season, but there's something there, right? There's just something there, obviously, the way the season ended last year. And the Detroit Lions, they beat us 24-14 in the first matchup before the bye, and they are probably, by all things considered, the best team in the NFL right now. If you could only choose one win, if you could only beat one of the two teams, the Niners or the Lions, in the next upcoming games that they play, which game would you take?
Give me beating the 49ers. And it's not even a question for me. Give me beating the 49ers if I had to choose one between them or the Detroit Lions. Guys, let's talk about the 49ers, right? If the Packers win this week, their chance to make the playoff, it shoots up to 90%. It's a virtual lock if Green Bay beats the 49ers this weekend. One of that reasons is because there is this scrum of wild card teams, right? Teams that, honestly, the Packers don't have the tiebreaker against most of them. They don't have it against Minnesota because they lost it against them. If Philadelphia falls a little bit, they won't have it against them because they lost to the Eagles. They can't afford another loss to a team that is in the wild card mix because of the tiebreaker issues of how you are head-to-head. So it's important to get a big win against another team that will likely be in the wild card mix. The other thing is, you have the opportunity to get rid of this mental hurdle, to exercise the San Francisco 49 demons that have been haunting you for so long. Kyle Wallace has PTSD from it. Packer fans everywhere.
Disorder.
PTSD, a disorder because of the San Francisco 49ers. Here is your opportunity to bury them. You beat the 49ers this weekend. They have a 14% chance to make the playoffs. Slight chance, but you have an opportunity to put them at a long shot by basically saying, hey, This is a good team, a Super Bowl team from last year. We can eliminate them right now. So that's the reason why I choose San Francisco. But Detroit, what is beating Detroit going to get you?
Well, let us answer that, because I don't know what Kyle's going to say, and I have my answer. You can only beat one, the Niners or Lions, Kyle. Who you beating?
Of course I'm beating the Detroit Lions. I can't believe this. We sat up here a couple of days ago talking about which team was better, which win would mean more, and now Brad comes on here Thursday talking about numbers and all the playoff percentages.
He's such a dork.
He is. Last year we were sitting in the same seat talking about if the Packers lose this game, they have a 2.7% chance to make the play, and then they made the playoff. Then they made the playoff. I'm sorry, maybe 7.5. And so at the end of the day, it's about beating the Detroit Lions. Yes, if you beat San Francisco, you're right. There is a mental hurdle that you get over. You saw some of the quotes coming out. George Kittle talking about, it's the Packers I got to play. You saw Jordan Love talking about, we're still thinking about that game. So it's still in their mind. There is this hurdle that they want to get over. But at the end of the day, the 49ers are not as good as the Detroit Lions during the regular season. I want to be able to beat the 49ers definitely during the playoffs. But when it comes to the Detroit Lions, they are the best team, as a lot of people say, in football. To be able to maybe lose against the 49ers, but then back it up the next week and actually beat the Detroit Lions inside Detroit, that boosts your confidence right back up for the game coming up against, after that, I believe it's the
Fins.
Dolphins.
The Fins on Thanksgiving.
Dolphins, then Lions, but then after that, Seattle. To be able to back it up, right? And so the most important thing is, can you beat good football teams? If you beat the 49ers and then they go and flounder, they don't make the playoffs, you still have this reputation this season of not beating a good football team. You beat the Detroit Lions 2 weeks from now, you are considered a good football team. And so that's why it's so important that I'd rather have us beat the Detroit Lions inside Detroit versus winning on Sunday. Now, obviously, I want us to win them all. But if I had to choose, I'm choosing beating the team right now that everybody thinks is the front runner for the Super Bowl, because if you see them in the playoffs again, which you may if you get to where you want to go, you have the confidence to know you can beat them.
Kyle's smart. Kyle's right. Brad's a dork. I couldn't say it any better, because forget the numbers, forget the tiebreakers, forget all that. You know what will cure tiebreakers and all that? Is the confidence that you would get by beating the Detroit Lions, where they play really good football at home. If you go in, is it Ford Field still? Whatever it is.
Ford Field?
It is still
you
Ford
go in,
Field.
You go into Ford Field, and you beat the Lions, who are the best team in the NFL, which they still likely will be at that point. Guess who they beat last year? They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs, and then they beat the Lions. But again, it was about beating a team like the Chiefs that everyone chalked that one up as an L. And that is a team that won the Super Bowl the year before. And then they won the Super Bowl this year. So now when you're measuring yourself to the best. And the best right now is the Lions. You beat the Lions, you know what that does? It gives you all the confidence in the world when you play Seattle, when you play New Orleans, when you play the Vikings, and you play the Bears. Because you know what it says? We're a damn good football team. Now, you can look at the other way and say, oh, maybe they let down. No, as a team that can have a letdown because they haven't played their best football, complimentary as a team, basically since the Cardinals game, they need something like this. They need a win against the team. If they can go into a tough environment and they haven't put it all together, it doesn't matter how they do it. If they beat the Lions have one loss right now. And the Packers putting that on their resume would be, yeah, we beat the best team in the NFL, and we are heading into the back half of the season where Matt LaFleur, as you said, Kyle, coaches really well in December. That is the momentum you want to be building towards the playoffs, not worrying about beating the Niners to get a mental block out of the way so you can help secure a spot near the wild card.
Yeah, well, that's what you're looking at now. You're looking at the wild card. Even if the Packers beat the Lions in a few weeks, the Lions are still more than likely, almost certainly going to win the division. Almost certainly. So because of that, if you beat the Lions, it doesn't do much to change the picture. And also, too, if you lose the Lions,
it tells you twice, what you can do. If you beat the Niners, it's beating another team that you've beaten.
But you're eliminated. You haven't beaten the Niners yet when it matters. And this is a game where it matters. It matters to the Niners. This is an elimination game for the Niners virtually. But if you beat the Lions, so what? They're still going to win the division. You're still going to have to go through Ford Field again to get there. And if they beat the Packers twice in the regular season, they're not beating them a third time in the playoffs.
Stop that.
They're not beating them a third time.
That's not a reality.
They're going to take the Packers lightly, and you're going to go to Ford Field and be able to beat them. If the San Francisco 49ers win, they're likely going to go on their way to win the division. Detroit's also going to win the division. There's a scenario where you have to go at San Francisco, at Detroit on your wild card route. I want nothing to do with that route.
800-990-3776. Beads in Milwaukee. Would you rather beat the Niners or Lions if you could only choose one win?
That is really tricky. You knock the Niners potentially out of the playoffs, or you crush Detroit's soul. I guess no, but I hate.
We're making him think. We're making him think more than Jason Wilde's had to think.
Hey, so I could cook forever here, but question for Wilde: is Eli Manning worthy of the Hall of Fame? 84.1 QBR. You know what Daniel Jones' QBR is? 84.3.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Don't let Bees. Wait,
should have put Eli Manning at safety like the Giants are doing in the practice squad.
And Bees, you need to answer this question, too.
Can I pick a bone with you?
Pick bone. Go ahead.
Why are we suggesting betting on the San Francisco 49ers last night on the weekly wager?
That was a Scalzo pick. I can't control that, man.
I want to make a motion for you to be kicked off the Super Bowl believing Beats team. I don't know who the president is, Stroh.
Me? I'm the Super Bowl. I sent out the beads. I mailed the beads to you, Beads.
You need to grab a life vest because you are floating.
So I'm confused here, Beads, and I got to put you on hold for a second here because I don't understand why I'm getting flack. My best bet was not the 49ers. That was Greg Scalzo. Although we were past mates in shows.
Scalzo picked the 49ers?
Yeah, he likes them at plus 2.5 against the Packers. Wow. He's showing what he thinks. Let's go to Sean in West Bend.
You're a freaking hater.
Sean in West Bend, you're up on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Hey, as a lifelong Lions fan, I don't care if the Packers beat the Niners. I got nothing for that. I just think it's awesome that to hear you boys call them the best team in the NFL multiple times.
Man, you're insecure.
It's true.
I mean, like, it's a good thing. You need to embrace the fact that you're good, Sean.
There's a lot of light lines.
This makes me feel even more confident that the Packers will beat the Lions because
of their fans' attitude?
Yeah. The same way that when Big Cat came on with us to talk about the Bears and Packers playing, we were saying there's a 0% chance that the Bears will win. He's like, oh, we got them right where we want them. Lions fans are like, oh, it's so great that they're talking about us in such a high light.
Is Sean still on the line?
Yes,
Sean, who's the biggest team in the NFC that scares you? I think is going to get in the way of Lions making the Super Bowl.
Eagles.
Not Green Bay?
No. Gosh, no.
Oh,
why? Why? Gosh, no.
Wow.
You can't stop the run, and if you stop the run, Goff's going to torch you.
Oh,
I mean, he got a point. They have a two-headed monster that is ridiculous. And the next time...
I'm talking about the torch, the Goff torch.
The next time that we play them will be indoors.
Just real quick, I hate to be the negative Packers fan for a moment. You know who else has a two-headed monster in the backfield?
49ers?
Christian McCaffrey, Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason is barely being used.
Right, but if I'm Kyle Shanahan this weekend with a quarterback facing a shoulder injury... Jordan Mason's getting used.
He should get used.
Well, you ain't Kyle Shanahan. I'm gonna let Kyle Shanahan play his game plan. We'll see what happens.
I bet Jason Wilde agrees with me.
It might make him think more than we have. 800-990-3776. We're still taking your questions for what we should ask Jason Wilde because we haven't been able to make him think too hard on his questions. So I see your questions for Jason coming in. We're gonna get to Jason Wilde next on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman and ask him some real brain busters. So don't go anywhere. Jason Wilde, our Packers guy, joins us next.
Don't tell KBN.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, let them do it. I ain't doing it.
You're not going to hurt our feelings.
Come on.
Just mine.
Homer, come on.
Yo, fuck, I should be doing this time. I should be 2-6. That good enough for you? You need any more?
That's fair.
Need any more? One? Us?
Yeah.
Y'all
2, 3, 4.
You're all the same.
There we go.
Nobody's as good as me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
They say seeing is believing. And when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Keep the elements out of your home with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
We had howling wind coming through. The rooms were freezing. We were very apprehensive about changing them because we were worried about losing the charm of the home. We went with Pella because we knew that they had an amazing reputation. We knew that they were going to have the windows that would look like they've been there forever, but with all the functionality that a window should have.
Order from Pella today and get no interest and no payments for 12 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 11/30/2024.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for Watch and Tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
I'm talking with Dr. Chris Killian. Doctor, if someone starts to feel pain, what are the first things that they need to do?
Certainly resting it. Ice can be helpful, anti-inflammatories.
So let's say none of that works and someone is looking for that next step to relieve their pain. Just because someone steps into your office, that does not automatically mean that that next step is a surgical procedure. Is that right?
We still kind of treat surgery as kind of a last option once you've exhausted conservative management. So those conservative treatments, again, being rest, ice. If it's your shoulder we're talking about, going through a period where maybe a short period of immobilization. And then the mainstay is physical therapy. We have physical therapists here specifically at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin that work with us and train with us that allow a vast majority of people to actually avoid surgery altogether, depending on what their issue is.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Ewald Automotive Group's Black Friday sales event is back. Now through November 30th, get up to $10,000 in rebates, plus up to 10% off or 0% financing. All with Ewald's exclusive 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Our biggest savings, lowest rates, maximum trade values, and huge selection. Now through month end at every Ewald location.
Go to EwaldAuto.com.
On select models with approved credit, all rebates and incentives to dealer. See dealer for details. Expires month end.
It started with a prediction. Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6. It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I'm not leaving. The Wolf of Wall Street was on the other day when I was flipping through channel. Great family film.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
I'm a naturally inquisitive person.
Holding everybody accountable.
If you feel better about that, I'm happy to do so.
Jason Wilde is on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is the aforementioned Jason Wilde. Listen to Jason on Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon across these very stations. Jason, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
You know, we're doing okay, but we want to listen to something together so we can maybe feel a little bit better.
Don't tell KBN. But the questions on this program are the best that I get all week. So I really appreciate having to think about my answers. Sorry.
Are you complimenting us to stall so you can come up with an answer?
No. I think it's important to compliment people. I really do. I think that's really important, and we don't do it enough.
Jason, we don't make you think?
No, you half-ass it most of the time.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The double down. I wasn't ready for the double down.
Yeah, were you looking for an apology there?
No, I just thought this would be a good opportunity to also take a little bit of the last portion of that. Strove, please.
I think it's important to compliment people. I really do. I think that's really important, and we don't do it enough.
What about complimenting us? Can you compliment us
when
more?
It's deserved. Yeah, when it's deserved. Can
you say something nice about us?
First of all, let's be honest. I compliment you guys more than anybody compliments you guys. But sometimes your questions, definitely Brad.
That's fair.
He's feeling a little hurt by that stray shot.
Jason, say it ain't so.
I praise Brad all the time. Brad owes his entire career to me. Or well, no, that's not true.
Oh wow! Now he's taking credit for your entire
I'm
career.
taking credit for my own. I compliment myself. That's like at Thanksgiving when Sydney was like 3 or 4. We're going around the table and we're asking, "What are you thankful for?" And Sydney said, "I'm thankful for my own self."
Oh, wow.
No. And if you thought that I thought that by saying "Don't tell KBN" that it wouldn't get back to you, I am not that stupid. In fact, I thought, hey, this could be a good shtick on KBN, and you've come through for me. So great job turning it into a shtick. I assume that I have to give credit to Alex Strofe for that.
Yeah, Alex, you get the first compliment. Great
Way
job.
to go, Strofe. Yeah, good job.
Let's work our way around the horn.
Okay, three left to give.
Three left to give. Come on.
Well, let's see what kind of questions you came up with, or if you just sort of took the low-hanging fruit and didn't really think it through, and then I'm going to have to criticize you again. So it's up to you guys. Let's go.
Well, Jason, I do have a question. Is whose questions of KBN do you like the best?
Brad's.
Who do you like the least?
Ben's.
And Kyle's in the middle?
Yeah, Kyle's above average.
Oh,
like
wow.
if,
Above average. I like
it. If let's see, if we're on a spectrum.
So what I'm
1 to
reading
100,
into this is it's just a me thing.
No, it's not just a you thing. There are times. Look,
maybe I'm the problem.
There are times where I would say that maybe the program gets a little bit sideways under your leadership. But no, you have the amount that you have grown since early on is incredible. Like I don't want to compare you to a Packers player, but because this is now going to go to your head, and we know how that works. But you were like Jordan Love during the 2020 training camp.
Okay.
Which, again, most people did not get to see, but he was terrible.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's nothing new. Like, he was
terrible?
indecisive. Matt LaFleur used to say indecisive equals ineffective. And he used it all the time. In fact, I stole it from him to use with Sid and Maddie with their sports teams. But in 2020, he was a developmental prospect. They clearly didn't draft him to be their quarterback in 2020. But I distinctly remember, and this is why it makes me so mad that there are people that take victory laps about how good he has become and say, oh, I knew it all along. Because Goody can't even say that. Otherwise, Goody would have gotten the hell rid of Aaron Rodgers when he had the chance, when he could have gotten an even bigger king's ransom than he got from the Jets, because he doesn't like Rodgers to begin with, and we're starting to see why.
Oh, wow.
But the idea, there was no way he was ready in 2020 or 2021. And whether or not, the great what if is, had he been forced to play the way some of these other young quarterbacks have been, and some have flamed out and turned into Mitch Trubisky, and others have thrived, like Justin Herbert. It's hard for me to picture, and you guys have heard this before. This is no new ground for me. It's hard for me to picture him succeeding if he had to play in 2021. Now, maybe they could have, LaFleur puts together game plans like he put together for Malik Willis, and they succeed. But I think Jordan needed that time more so than anybody to become the guy he is now. And I think when people act like it was preordained and they just knew they had the latest in the succession line, and they even ignore some of the growing pains he's had this year, I think it takes away from the accomplishment of Jordan working his ass off to become the player he is. Because that, to me, I find offensive, because he deserves credit, and Tom Clements deserves credit, and Matt LaFleur deserves some credit. So my point, long-winded though it may be, is that for you to have gone from where you were during the early days of Scalzo and Brust, or the time that I met you for the first time when you grew out your hair and you were at the Wisconsin Sports Awards, and I knew you as the guy who played for the Badgers, and I didn't even recognize you when you first said hello to me, to where you are now, incredible growth. You deserve tons of credit, and as long as you don't show up in an Aaron Rodgers jersey again, we'll be great.
Yeah,
I'll take it and run.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a compliment yet, but that's okay because I know those long-winded answers may distract you from it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you haven't gotten one yet. The segment's not over, though.
Jason Wilde joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Maybe you guys will get your compliment. Brad's got enough. It's all about Kyle now. Strofe got his, I got mine. We know he loves Brad.
It is about me, and I'm upset with Jason.
We'll get there because we have a split panel right now on original question here. A little hypothetical here, but we're split amongst KBN. If the Packers could have one victory, if they could only have one between the Niners and the Lions, which do you think would be more beneficial for this team? There's a lot of reasons, from a mental block psyche, getting over the 49ers, or beating the best team in the NFL of the Lions.
I can't believe I'm being forced to say this on this show.
Are you thinking, Jason?
But that's a really interesting question.
Turn it out.
Now, some might say that you guys were motivated by the disrespect and you rose to the occasion as a result. Or maybe somebody just fed this to you on social media and you're taking it as your own.
Now. I respect the hell out of that.
I would think still the Lions, because I think beating the Lions would still give them a chance to win the division, right? I don't think they're going to still. Like, I think you look at the Lions' schedule, and they got some tough games on the schedule, too. The one thing that I would say, and the reason why this is such a great question, is that while I don't think it could completely knock out the 49ers because of their division, I mean, right now, 3 teams are 5-5, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. And then the team that's leading the division is Arizona at 6-4. So it's not, if the 49ers lose on Sunday here at Lambeau, it doesn't knock them out of winning their division still. But it would be one of those punches that would definitely stagger them. And if I'm the Packers, the one thing that I would love to do, especially given how they've had my number, is keep the 49ers out of the playoffs, right? Because I think it's unlikely that one of the 3 wild card teams will come out of the West. It'll probably be 2 from the NFC North and 1 from the East. And so if the season ended today, and I'm sure you guys with this great question already studied this, but if the season ended today, the seeding in the NFC would be as follows: Detroit 1, Philadelphia 2, Arizona 3, Atlanta 4, Minnesota 5, Green Bay 6, Washington 7. Now let's take out Arizona, which is currently the 3 seed, and replace it with the 49ers if they win the West instead.
Kyle's got PTSD. He does not want that.
If the Packers don't overtake the Vikings for the top wild card spot, and they stayed at number 6 somehow, and the 49ers win that division, and that division ends up being higher than the NFC South winner is, you know what that sets up? It sets up a 3-6 game in the first round of the playoffs that sends the Packers, who I bet will have a better record than the 49ers, to San Francisco or Santa Clara and have to beat the 49ers in Northern California. So that's why this is such a really, really good question. I'm not pandering to you guys. I'm more shocked than I am pandering.
Oh, wow.
Just want to make sure you're still listening.
Okay, no, Kyle's anxiously awaiting his question so you can give him a compliment.
Tell him how great he is. If they can avoid being in a 3-6 matchup with the 49ers, I would think that would be really, really, really important.
Yeah, that was great, and that really was interesting. But I really like to get to the juicy stuff. And I'm serious. And you dropped something in. You know how much we talked about on Sunday Karma. How much I really care about Aaron Rodgers and all the news that has to come with Aaron Rodgers. And Jason, you being an insider, you've been around this team for a very long time. Were the Packers just masking Rodgers' destructive behavior? Because I just can't believe in a span of literally this is first full season actually playing for them, and he has torn them apart. Were the Packers just masking that destructive behavior?
That is a good question, and I'm not just saying that to check off the box of giving you a compliment. But I don't think that that's what it was. Like, I do think that they were more tolerant. I do think that there was a better structure in place where it couldn't get quite as run amok as it has in Florham Park, New Jersey, where the Jets headquarters are. Also, I don't think the Packers are a dysfunctional, with or without Aaron Rodgers, organization like the Jets have proven to be. But this all comes back to what the late, great Denny Tauscher used to tell Tausch and his brothers. Talent outs. That if you are talented and you are playing at a high level, there are things that are forgiven and swept under the rug and looked past. And Aaron Rodgers wasn't always the easiest guy to work with for Mike McCarthy. He wasn't always the easiest guy to work with for Brian Gutekunst.
What about for
He
Jason
wasn't always
Wilde?
we had some disagreements at times. That is a good question. And we still do, and we haven't always fleshed all of those out yet. I will say this. Sydney and I were driving home from gymnastics practice the other night, and I had been reading while I was waiting for practice to end the story in The Athletic about how, like, Woody Johnson wanted to bench him and all that other stuff. And so Sid saw on my phone the picture of him, and she's like, "When's the last time you talked to him?" I said, well, "I texted him a couple weeks ago. He didn't respond." He said, "Well," and Sydney said, "Well, I should text him." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's fine. You want me to text him for you?" So I sent him a text. Sydney says, "Hey, she just wants to see how you're doing. Hope everything's going okay. It's been a long season, but she was just asking about you." Dude text back right away. So now I've been dealing with her taking a victory lap for the last 2 days. He texts me back and not you anymore.
Well, can you send him a message and says
Kyle,
if he gets a government official job, your boy may be interested as well.
No, I'm not going to let us lose you. You're too valuable to our team.
That's your compliment. You're good. You're good. Kyle, you're good, Kyle. Now, here's the thing. Jason's been very insightful, but I'm a little nervous because we've been really hot. Brad, don't screw it up.
I got a good question. It's a question that only Jason can answer. Are you guys ready? Because he's got a unique perspective inside the locker room and a lot of history. Green Bay Packers. Jason, do you detect that Matt LaFleur changes his preparation, his demeanor, his approach, anything different than normal weeks when he faces his buddies like McVay or Shanahan, specifically Shanahan, because he's sort of the leader of the pack? Do you notice anything different in Matt LaFleur's approach? Because I know for me, if I was facing my good friends, it would have to play a role somehow.
Yeah, and what's weird is, though, that he's had so much success against McVay, who he's closer with. Like, if I were to put his power rankings of friends, it would be Saleh, McVay, Shanahan, and maybe even Mike McDaniel is ahead of Shanahan now. I mean, they obviously, there were some shoes there after the 2020 season when Sean McVay and the Rams inquired about Rodgers' availability in a trade through proper channels, and the 49ers allegedly, but I don't believe it's allegedly, I think it actually happened, tried to meddle and tried to convince Aaron Rodgers to come over to them and have the kind of trade that the Denver Broncos were hoping to then have after the 21 season. So I think it's different. It is definitely different for LaFleur with Shanahan, but whether or not he succeeds, I don't know, but I think he tries really hard to not let that stuff seep in. But I'll be honest with you, I asked him a question today, and Strofe might be able to get it off Packers.com during the show here, where I said, I know you're not having Mike Hallbach, their video guy, put together a retrospective on the Packers-49ers rivalry, even though he could. There's a lot of great games over the years. But they did that with the Bears last week. I said, I know you're not doing that with the 49ers, but how do you view this matchup? Like, there is a lot of history here, and this is the team that's ended your season the last 3 years, or 3 times in your 5 years. And LaFleur, to his credit, acknowledged that. Like, he didn't run from it. This is the team that ended our season last year, and that obviously influences you in terms of your psychological approach. So what I don't think he does is makes it into something way more than it should be. And to me, and Brad, you can speak to this way better than I can, and Brust, you can too, right, about rivalries in the Big Ten. I think when you get yourself into trouble as coaches is when you allow that stuff to take on a life of its own. And the only example I can use from the time covering this team where it was to that degree, because their days with their big Cowboys would always end their season rivalry was before my time, was that Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers and the guys in this building in 2009 were so unhealthily obsessed with beating Favre with the Vikings that I thought it was detrimental. I think Tausch can vouch for that because he was on that team.
Well, Jason, we appreciate the time, and if our questions start slipping up, please do your Jedi mind tricks like you did with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy to help us be better hosts at ESPN Wisconsin.
I did hear in the open where I say where somebody says, maybe it's the big voice guy,
No, it's you.
Everyone accountable.
I hold everyone accountable.
This has been an outstanding visit, and even though you guys enjoy your visits with Rob Domofsky more, sometimes there's some tough love involved, and I'm glad I could deliver it.
Well, Jason, we look forward to rocking it on Monday with you after the Packers play.
All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Listen to Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you,
Jason.
Jason.
That was a El Strophe over there.
Oh.
With the Don't Tell KBN. Did you play that?
I did, but did you
El
just call me
Strophe.
El Strophe?
El Strophe.
The Strophe.
The Strophe. El Strophe. I think that's your new nickname for me. Jason Wilde, listen to him, Wilde and Tausch, across these very stations from 9 to noon. But as we do, I know the royal family's waiting in Franklin. It's time for Over-Under coming up next, which means we need caller. Did you want 16 and 19?
Yeah, I want caller 16 and 19 today.
All right, we'll do 16 and 19. Caller 16, you will have the opportunity to decide with Alex Strouf's category if you want to go over or under the amount of guesses that Kyle, Brad, and I will team up and get on Strouf's category. We have 10 guesses to get as many right answers as possible, and if we get over and you are with us, you'll win the $50 gift card. If you pick under, and we don't get over 10, or what Strouf's line is, you will win. But whoever has 19 will be stuck on the other side no matter what. Someone's walking away with $50 of a gift card. 800-990-3776. It's over-under. Caller 16, caller 19. 800-990-3776. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
He is now off his rocker saying it. Well, if I played...
Choke artist. Choke artist, choke artist, choke artist. That's what you both are. Yeah, I said it. You both are choke artists.
Losers, choke artists.
That's what you are. You choked against TCU. You choked against Oregon. You choked against Kentucky. You choked against Duke. I can keep going.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. On this show, it's always football season.
And your argument was that the coaches wanted him to return it.
Yeah, I think,
and he very clearly said no.
They wanted him to take it to the house.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Play the results, are we?
That's what coaches do sometimes, yeah.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Kevin Moret for Mentality Men's Health. I know that a guy's confidence comes from many sources. For our clients, the way they look is a big driver. When you have the muscle mass and the muscle tone, it changes the way you carry yourself. Did you know that 70% of Mentality clients have increased muscle mass and muscle tone through testosterone and peptide therapy? Their confidence is back and everyone can see it. If you want to recapture the way you look and felt years ago, join the over 25,000 clients and start today. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
The holiday season officially begins at your local Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships with our exclusive Black Friday all-month-long sales event. Huge Black Friday all-month-long savings and discounts on America's best-selling brands from both Buick and GMC at nearby Kunis locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. All remaining new 2024 vehicles are now Black Friday all-month-long blowout price. Kunis has the area's biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, with many Black Friday all-month-long priced below $5,000. And payments as low as $149 per month. Additionally, with any new or pre-owned purchase in November, you'll get our exclusive No Fear lifetime warranty at absolutely no extra charge. Plus, we're paying above top Kelley Blue Book values on all trades in November, no matter the mileage or condition. The holiday season officially begins with exclusive November Black Friday all-month-long savings. Only at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships. Shop online at KunisBlackFriday.com.
Ho, ho, ho!
It's your last chance. Menards 11% rebate ends soon. Wrap up those big projects before the holidays. Weatherproof in style with new Mastercraft exterior doors. Customize your kitchen with Clearview cabinetry. It's time to pick up those new appliances or start your big garage project. Don't miss out. The 11% rebate ends Thanksgiving. Stores closed Thanksgiving Day. 11% mail-in rebate is a merchandise credit check. Good on future in-store purchases. See Menards.com for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, Monica.
This is our WOW engagement ring for Christmas.
Wow.
Wow.
It features a 1-carat created diamond center stone.
Completely surrounded by a halo of little created diamonds that makes it look huge.
And each of those 3 bands is covered in diamonds.
I've never seen anything like it.
2 carats total weight.
There's no way this is less than $5,000.
No, we're selling these for half that much.
$24.98? I need to lie down and put a cool rag on my forehead.
And you can choose a 1-carat round, oval, or radiant diamond as your center stone.
Kessler's is the coolest store in the world.
But there's more. Look at this.
It's a matching pendant. Take that rag off your head and get up, Rick. You have to see this.
How big is that?
It's a 1.5-carat created diamond, surrounded by the same halo of little created diamonds. 2 1/3 carats total weight.
This tag says it's just $1,998.
See it for yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman here with you. Strophy running the show. KBN Nation, you can always get us at 800-990-3776 or watch us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. But it's time now for one of our favorite games, Over Under.
Will the guys hit the over or will they disappoint? It's time for Over Under on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Take it away, El Strophy.
I don't know how I feel about that yet. I don't think I hate it.
I know you don't, and it's going to click.
It might. All right, fellas.
The Stroph.
Caller 16, rather than caller 6 today, was our buddy K-Walk. He is on the over. Caller 19 was our friend Ray in Mequon. He is on the under. First snowfall in the state of Wisconsin today. I know Brad was excited about that.
What does that have to do with over under?
Buddy.
Well, I'm about to tell you.
I know. I'm intrigued.
All right. Over the last 5 years average, so this is 2018 through 2023 calendar years, I am looking for the top 10 snowiest U.S. states. Average over the last 5 years. The over-under today is low. It's the lowest I think I've ever set it at. 5.5 is your over-under today. You need 6 or more to win.
Is this measured in total snowfall?
It is measured in total snowfall inches on average over the last 5 years. I will tell you the inches. That made me uncomfortable. I will tell you the inches.
As we hopefully get some answers correct.
When you get the answers correct. Are you guys ready to go or any questions?
Who's the leader
Final
of the
answer.
pack? The final answer guy.
I-
You lost.
Oh. Okay.
Bradley, you're the inches guy here.
I'm all about the inches.
Because of him. I just
But
want to remind
you were in control and you had the opportunity.
I don't
to,
like him making this decision. Brad, this is up to you and I. Do you want to do it or do you want me to do it?
accept the
Of course,
challenge.
Brad loves it, and he's going to flub it, and then...
Whoa. We
then.
team
No
up.
belief.
We're supposed to help K-Walk here.
No
Come on
belief.
now.
All right, fellas, the top 10 snowiest U.S. states in inches on average over the last 5 years. Over under at 5.5. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Is Colorado in there?
Yes,
it has to be.
Yeah, let's say Colorado. They just got
final. Colorado final?
He said final.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, North Dakota, South Dakota,
Well, let's slow down. What about like
I would do
Utah?
North Dakota first. Well, Utah is like a lot of desert, too.
Yeah, so
and if Colorado isn't, I don't know how Utah.
You know, the sneaky one might be California.
Vermont? What about Vermont? I think they have ski hills there.
Yeah.
Comer goes.
I'm okay with Vermont. That's pretty far out. Let's do Vermont final.
Yeah, Vermont number 3 on this list, 80.2 inches.
I'm thinking Michigan because like Upper Michigan, you get like
UP,
the drift
yeah,
off
I like that
How about
answer.
Michigan final?
Michigan is also correct, 70.38 inches. We go down to is that the 10th or the 100th? Anyway.
That is the 100th.
What were they
Thank you.
ranked? What was Michigan ranked?
Number 6.
6 at 7.
What about Minnesota?
Yeah, I like Minnesota final.
Minnesota number 9 on this list, 57.76 inches.
I think Wisconsin is like usually in the low 50s.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
2
minutes. I'm definitely in the last.
So, like, you know how, like, the
like Idaho.
Well, hang on. Stay with me for a second. The East Coast always gets these
They get
massive. They get pounded.
Yeah, so it's like Maine, New Hampshire,
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Maine is the furthest north and east. So let's do Maine.
Yeah, let's try Maine.
Maine final answer?
Yeah, Maine's number 2, 92 inches.
Okay, so we know Vermont is
You need
3,
2 more.
Maine is 2. Let's do New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'll go
That's
ahead. New
there.
Hampshire's right there.
New Hampshire. Final.
New Hampshire, a long shot, number 1, 174 inches on average.
I wouldn't want
80 more than second place.
Alaska?
Final answer.
Oh, yeah.
That is good for the win. Alaska, number 4, 79.6.
Good job, Brad.
Very
I feel like I
good.
challenged you, and you
Okay.
were focused and locked in.
Geography.
Wait, so are we 6 of 7?
You are 6 of 7.
keep
You have
going.
3 guesses left. Let's keep rolling.
New York.
Mass?
New York over Massachusetts?
Well, there's more land in New York, which could help
I don't think that matters at all.
for total
Well,
snowfall.
I mean, no, it does help because
We're not
yeah.
taking the whole state's
Oh, you said by average.
by average.
Got it.
I mean, because like you think Buffalo gets a ton, but New York City, I don't know how much that gets.
They get snow.
I guess I would do.
Mass for sure.
Okay, let's do Massachusetts final.
Massachusetts, number 10, 57.67.
I like New York.
Yeah, then
the
New York.
whole upstate
Yeah,
New York,
they get hit.
New York final answer.
Wow, I way overshot this. New York, number 7, 61.21. You are missing just...
We're missing 2, but we are 8 of 9.
Northeast is snowy.
missing 2, correct.
I didn't realize how much snow.
What about
Rhode Island?
What about Washington if we go west?
Oh,
I think no, it's wet.
temperate.
It's wet, yeah.
I would say Rhode Island.
Yeah, I guess Rhode Island's in that
R.I.?
Rhode Island final.
Because you know it's
I
crazy.
guess it's close to the water.
It's that
10
Maryland,
guesses.
Maryland
That's 10
and
guesses.
D.C. They don't get a lot of snow. They get snow like this, they shut it all down.
ND?
All
North
down.
Dakota?
No, really impressed by you guys, though. I
Thanks,
thought,
Stroh.
I thought it was like a 6 spot for the
Big
win.
compliment day for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
how
big
about
on
it?
the
I feel
compliments.
You guys killed it.
All right, you guys missed number
I like the
5.
category, too,
Number
by the way.
5 and number 8, you mentioned number 8. Number 5 you did not mention. That's Wyoming.
I had that here on the list.
And number 8 is Utah.
Utah. Interesting.
Brad did the thing where he said desert.
I totally thought you guys were going to say Wisconsin right off the rip.
No, we don't get a lot of snow like that. But I am surprised that the Dakotas.
But we're number 12.
We got a dusting in November of the 21st.
I mean, our snow
November
has
of
been,
the 21st.
Yeah.
Our snow has been light. So are we more than the Dakotas?
Where do we rank? Do you have
He
that
said
on the
12.
list?
Yeah, we're 12.
12.
Because I would have.
Then who's
assumed the
11?
Dakotas.
Just because I'm curious, because I want to know.
Number 11 is Montana.
So the Dakotas are behind us.
Wow. I would have thought Wyoming.
North Dakota's 14, South Dakota's 17.
Where's Idaho?
Idaho
Almost
is 27.
27.
Yeah, they're actually behind Nevada, believe it or not.
Wow.
Your bottom of the list, Hawaii gets 0 inches on average. Florida, 49th. Louisiana, 48th. California, believe it or not, actually 47th, despite
having the Northern
California.
Territories.
Yeah. So there you go.
Good job, guys. Congrats
Northern
to K-Walk for
Territories,
believing
huh?
us.
That's what you call the
Northern Territories.
That's what I think of the Northern Territories
Sounds
of
like from the
California.
1800s.
Congrats to K-Walk on your $50 gift card.
Good work, guys.
Stroph's a little defeated that we just blew that out of the
I'm
water.
actually just impressed. The sports ones I get a little defensive on.
You do.
Because
you
I
do.
set the line high.
High,
Right? I
yeah.
got 8.5, 7.5. On a 5.5,
To get 8 is impressive.
you smoked it. Yeah, you smoked it. Well done.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. We want to know, based off the fact that Jordan Love was the main emerger last year, the second half of the season, outside of Jordan Love, because we know he needs to play better. Who needs to emerge outside of Jordan Love for this team to make a run? Pick your guy, 800-990-3776. We'll get to ours. We'll get to yours in 2 minutes. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Don't go anywhere.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
He was the lead in the girls softball movie, the Bernstein Bears. What's it called?
800
What?
990
Tom Hanks, that movie, there's no crying in baseball. What was it?
That was A League of Their Own.
Not Bad News Bears.
The Berenstein Bears, like the book.
Berenstein Bears. Bro, you're done.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Did you know Love was born November 2nd? Did you know Love was raised in Bakersfield, California? Did you know Love played college football at Utah State? Are you looking for lots of Love touchdowns the rest of this football season? Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we love being your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With our selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor has all your tailgating needs covered. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive is bringing us all together again to collect toys for children and families in need.
Join Capco and WTMJ for a celebration of giving on December 7th at the Kazmarek Center in Grafton.
This is more than just a toy drive. It's about kids helping kids. We are learning the importance of giving and how that impacts other kids and families all over Wisconsin.
Experience the joy of giving on December 7th.
And don't forget to bring toys.
Help us make a difference this Christmas. Visit kidstoKidstoydrive.com.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
KBN Nation till 5 o'clock, 800-990-3776. Ben Brust, Kyle Walsh, Brad Nortman, full crew together with El Strophe running the show. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Interact with us there.
I think I hate El Strophe.
That's fine. I'm not stopping it, especially because you just said you hated it. The Strophe. I love it. El Strophe. Strong.
Shut up, Ben.
I want to know, outside of Jordan Love, because we know he needs to play better in the second half of the season. Outside of Jordan Love, who has to emerge for this team to make a strong push, a strong run in this latter half of the season? Outside of Jordan Love, who do you believe has to emerge and have a great second half of this season for the Packers so the Packers can make a run? 800-990-3776. Brad.
Listen,
you former NFLer.
It's got to be Jair Alexander. If you're going to make a Super Bowl run, your studs need to play like studs, and they need to be on the field. And Jair Alexander is doing neither. Yes, he had that good couple early games, the pick six and whatnot. I thought, here we go. He's back to his old form. But since then, it's been nothing but the same type of Jair that the Packers have had. So the last 3 years before this year, he played in 58% of the games. 58%. This season, if you count the game that he checked himself out last week in Chicago.
I think it's fair to count that one.
Yep. So he then played in 6 of 10 games. So that's 60%. So that's who Jair is. Jair plays in 55 to 60% of the games that the Green Bay Packers have. That is not nearly enough availability for a guy who's $24 million on your cap. That is still top 5 in the NFL for cornerbacks. So if you're going to pay a guy that much, he's got to be available, which he's not consistently. Even when he's on the field, Xavier McKinney is the clear dog of that secondary. So he's not even the best secondary player that the Packers have. And when he has been in headlines, It's for antics, guys. It's for being a captain. It's for having beef with certain guys like Stephon Diggs. So Jair Alexander is the guy that this defense needs. And this defense is not necessarily an asset for this team right now. They had a rush of turnovers earlier in the season, but that hasn't been happening at the same clip that it was earlier in the season. So if the Packers are going to make a run to the Super Bowl, the defense needs to take a huge step forward. Turnovers need to be back in vogue for this team, and that starts with Jair Alexander being on the field and being able to be in the headlines for good play, not antics. I'll go as far as this. If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't play out, I'll give him one game to get healthy. If he doesn't play out the rest of the year outside this one game, let's call it this weekend, and doesn't play at a high level, a Pro Bowl type level, the Packers need to move on from him. Save $6 million in cap next year and then just draft somebody to replace him. He is that much of a drag on the cap, and you can't rely on him to be on the field and be the all-pro that you paid him for, that he used to be, and who you need him to be if this team's going to go to the Super Bowl.
Over the KBN Sports Desk with El Strophy.
Yeah, El Strophy here. Brad just made a great point, and I hate to derail from that, as he used the term back in vogue, correct?
Yes, I did.
Ben, what does that mean?
Vogue is like a magazine, somebody who's like a star. We need him to get back like that. I'm sure I'm wrong, but isn't that a good spin?
It's close. In Vogue magazine is a style magazine, so back in Vogue means back in style, like back to
I get a passing grade. Give me a C minus.
You were in the vicinity.
Yeah,
I think.
that's my life.
You use
school
context
grading.
cues. You're a context cues guy.
Yeah.
Oh, is it cues or clues?
It's clues.
Clues.
No, I thought it was cues.
I think both work.
Both work.
I've never heard.
I guess
cues.
it is. I guess context clues makes a lot of sense.
Who do we think has
well,
the highest IQ of the panel?
Brad.
Not counting Brad.
Oh, I don't know how high my IQ is. I'm like, if I can read it and learn it,
I'm past Kyle based off his reaction.
No, I was great at history, but math, it was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I can do
The
math.
thing is, IQ is like raw intelligence.
Yeah, but it's not math. That's not the ACT.
Yeah, I'm pretty smart. 800-990-3776. Who, other than Jordan Love, needs to emerge for the Green Bay Packers to have a strong second half run? Brad says Jair, and Chef Ed says Jair is the Packers' Middleton.
Oh,
kind of like that,
Chef Ed.
Oh, I hate
Spicy
that. Don't bring that up.
Chef Ed bringing the heat.
Like
a lot of
that.
other responses that I'll get to, but before we get to your responses at 800-990-3776, the lowest IQ, Kyle, you're up.
I'm not responding to that.
Oh, my God, you're so sensitive. Who you got?
Okay, sounds good. The highest IQ outside of Brad, Kyle Wallace, obviously, for me, is Rashawn Gary, because we know the difference makers that the defensive line can be in these games. I always think back to the Super Bowl a couple years ago when Aaron Donald on the last couple plays absolutely took over that game to seal the victory and seal the Super Bowl title for the LA Rams. I also think back to the time that Kevin Green was telling Clay Matthews, it's time, Clay, it's time. And Clay was able to make a big play. And when you look at the things that could disrupt you, we think about a Michael Parsons in the past. We think about a Myles Garrett. Heck, Chris Jones for the Chiefs last year. These guys are disruptive. Nick Bosa. When we think about Aiden Hutchinson, there's all these guys that can be disruptive on the defensive line, and they all give their team a chance to be successful, to win championships. And the Green Bay Packers lack that. And there's one guy on this defensive line that was paid not to just be a guy, not to be a jag, just a guy. He was paid to be a field tilter, a game changer, and that is Rashawn Gary, and he has not lived up to that expectation. Now, if Rashawn Gary turns it on, in these last 6-7 games that they have on the season, you're talking about he gets 4 sacks. He's getting pressure, which right now his win rate isn't great. He's not getting enough pressures right now. If he turns that around where he's consistently pushing his guy back, actually figuring out a move and making the quarterback scramble, then that means that they have to put more attention to him, which frees up other guys like a Kenny Clark. It frees up other guys on the other side to be able to potentially make a play like a Kingsley Enagbare. So for me, overall, when you have a guy that can be disruptive on the D-line, that can now cause for tight ends to have to stay in and chip, make for running backs that have to come and assist as well. That means he's disruptive. That means he's opening up things for other people. That means he's messing up the rhythm of the opposing team's offense, which means it gives Jair a chance to make an interception. It gives Xavier McKinney a chance to make an interception because the ball might be coming out a little bit, either if it's not coming out faster, he's running around, he's looking for something, and mistakes happen when you're kind of scrambling around. So overall for me, it is Rashawn Gary. If he becomes the menace that we thought we were going to have when he signed that extension, the Green Bay Packers have a better shot of winning a Super Bowl.
Well, a lot of of people agree with Kyle. 800-990-3776. Chef Ed right away. It's not going to happen, but Rashawn Gary. Dave from Aaron. This is a tough question just due to the amount of contracts that will start to emerge. But I would have to say Gary really has to pick it up, or he will go down as one of the all-time Packer busts.
Ooh.
I mean, based off the contract, I don't know about like bust from a draft pick, but living up to the contract, I see where he's getting there. Matt chimes in. Rashawn Gary, his pressures the last 5 games have gone up, but to add to his statement, I would say pressures aren't good enough when you're paying somebody to be that game wrecker. Mm-hmm. And Ray chimes in, doesn't even need to be someone specific. Anybody on the defensive line. For the love of God.
That's desperation, but that's where we're at with this D-line. Desperation.
Michael R. Gary, without a doubt. 800-990-3776. Who outside of Jordan Love needs to emerge for the Green Bay Packers to make a late playoff run and have a great second half of the season? I want El Strofe to give his answer. I will give my answer. We'll do that on the other side. But first, I'm going to tell you about Sit Mean Sit dog training, because some of these guys need to emerge as dogs. Dogs of the game. Because if your dogs don't always listen to you and you ask yourself, why don't they listen to what I say? Look no further than Sit Mean Sit dog training, because you're going to have a happy, confident, and obedient dog with working with Matt and his entire team in the Milwaukee or Waukesha area. Schedule your free consultation and listen to the Green Bay Game Day postgame show, because we want to hear these names that we're mentioning with Tausch and Homer in the Green Bay Game Day postgame show when they do the dog of the game. We get to your responses plus El Strofe and my answer next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Oh, no, not Coach Booty. People said yes, good riddance. He didn't do enough.
Not Coach Bud, but Coach Booty.
They call him Booty, Bud? Did
they call him
Coach
Booty?
Bud. You know when I said Booty.
Only his friends call him
when
Booty.
I said,
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we do still have some issues out on the road. First of all, on northbound 41, just north of North Avenue, the left lane is blocked with a crash. Then we've also got northbound on 43 at Hampton Avenue, also with the left lane blocked. So give yourself some extra time through there. Southbound 41, we've got just in past the Richfield interchange, where 41 and 45 merge. We do have the right shoulder blocked with a broken down vehicle and a crash on westbound 94 at Highway 16 on the left shoulder there. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, rain showers end, then it'll be cloudy above freezing, breezy with a low of 37. Tomorrow, cloudy and breezy, a high of 47. Weather's brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Always have a slice of summer by playing Pro Tour courses on one of their 12 simulators. Book a bay for just $35 Monday through Thursday. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
46 yards for the win.
The green and gold were saved by the Okay, we're not going to say it. After the win in Chicago, another game with playoff implications on tap for the Pack on Sunday. Catch Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, and Super Bowl champion Jared Bush for Green Bay Game Day on Sunday, live from the shadow of Lambeau Field. Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Sunday starting at noon, here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page.
Hey, this is ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. Guys, let's talk about something important. You. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa is here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step towards a more confident you.
Hey, it's Kyle Walls here for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. Winter is almost here, and it's the perfect time to replace those old, drafty windows. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. Restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to UWD.com, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Get ready
for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
The time has come.
Yes, the time has come to do what you need to do.
You've put it off as long as you can, but the time has come to choose a Christmas gift for the woman you love.
It needs to be something that will fit perfectly.
Something she will wear constantly.
Something she will love.
Something you can buy today and take home today.
Because you ran out of time. Christmas is upon us.
It's time for you to buy a fabulous pair of diamond stud earrings.
A fabulous pair.
Kessler's has natural diamonds created in the heart of the earth.
And newborn diamonds created in the heart of a star.
And when you buy from Kessler's, you can always trade your Kessler's natural diamond studs in for a larger pair.
We have diamond studs for a few $100s.
And diamond studs for several $1,000s.
2-carat total weight natural diamond studs are just $5,998.
She's going to be extremely happy when she sees what you bought for her.
And that's a good thing.
A very, very good thing.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Our question to you, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776 is outside of Jordan Love, who we know needs to play better. Who needs to emerge for the Green Bay Packers for them to have a strong second-half run and maybe make some noise, as they say, in the playoffs? Brad Nortman says Jair needs to emerge. Kyle Wallace says Rashawn Gary needs to emerge. Many are saying, for the love of God, anyone on the defensive line, please emerge. It's time now to hear from myself and Strofe and UKBN Nation as Brett chimes in and says, since I believe that Jair won't stay healthy, I think Nixon and Valentine need to be the guys to step up. Now, I hear
Assuming that he won't even work.
Yeah, I mean, that's the scary part, number one, because that is, you can assume that it may be the same story of injuries and then, not playing, taking himself out, trying to get healthy.
That's who he is.
And I like Brad's answer of Jair, because when I think about the Packers being super successful, I think about the impact Jair made in the second half of the season late, and especially that pick against the Cowboys, a field-tilting play that helped set up a big lead. I think he might have had one against San Francisco earlier as well. At least the Packers had an early takeaway and didn't take advantage of that takeaway the same way they did against the Cowboys last year in the divisional round. But where I go initially in my head is I tried to find a little bit of a trend, and I know you guys went defense, so I'm going to go offense here. When I look at Matt LaFleur, I think Matt LaFleur has had a good season, not a great season, right? They're 7-3, they found games to win, but it hasn't felt super clean all year from the Packers offense, right? The penalties have played a part in that, and that all stems with the coaching. And then I look at Josh Jacobs, guys. In the Packers' 2 losses against Detroit and Minnesota, they've had a third loss. I'm kind of taking Philly out because it was the first game, right? Just kind of an outlier. Some people I know Strofe calls that preseason game number 4. However you look at it, I look at these 2 losses as they were kind of finding their way. Minnesota, 5.7 yards per carry. Guess how many carries he had against Minnesota?
11.
9 carries.
Oh, wow.
Didn't even get to double digits.
We were down
16.
We were down early.
I know we're down early, and I'll get to that. Detroit, 7.3 yards per carry. How many carries?
13.
13 carries.
13 carries.
Now, he has gotten to the 18. You can put receptions in. He's getting more touches overall than Aaron Jones. I still want to see that ramp up a little bit. And then when I think about these losses, right, I remember after each loss thinking about how effective Josh Jacobs was. I went back to the box score, and not even the box score, but the game cast and the play-by-play. And it'd be like Josh Jacobs, run for 9 yards, 2nd and 1. And then you do the too cutesy thing, like an end around to Jaden Reed, and then you're trying to throw on 3rd and 1. You put yourself when you're short 2nd and 1. And Homer's talked about this too. And we talked about Balaga. I agree with this. This team can move the football, rushing the ball. And when they get in the red zone, they need to be more downhill. I think Matt LaFleur needs to be less cute and just lean on to the fact that you signed this guy to be that guy. And when Josh Jacobs gets hit, how many times do we see Josh Jacobs lose yards? If anything, he finds his way to get 1 or 2 when he gets hit in the backfield because he's that elusive, he's that strong, he's that good of a back. He is a top 5 back in the NFL, and I think Matt LaFleur needs to utilize him a little bit more correctly because even in those games that they're fighting from behind, there's been opportunities where it's like, all right, you had success. Why don't we just keep going back to him? And I think that's what I've seen a little bit around the league of like, all right, I know it's a spot where you can maybe take a shot on 2nd and 1. Keep the time possession. Keep it churning. Keep Josh Jacobs going. And the more success they have early on running the football, you can parlay that, as we know, with the passing game and the route concepts that the Packers do have. When the offensive line does give Jordan Love time, he typically will cook back there. And Josh Jacobs being effective and continuing to lean on him, boom. That's what I'm looking for.
That's such a good point, Ben, because Josh Jacobs, he might not look it, but he's got a little bit of like Ron Dane, Derrick Henry in him that he likes the high volume of carries. I feel like he gets better when he gets to carry 15, 22, 24. That's when the guys are really starting to feel the effects of tackling him because he welcomes the hits. When he's running against the Bears and he's in open field, he points at that dude and says, hey, come hit me, come bring it on. And sure enough, Josh Jacobs lays the hit. The other guy receives the brunt of the physicality. So Matt LaFleur, to give it to him early and often, only pays more dividends in the 3rd and 4th quarter when you're on carry 18 and Josh Jacobs is getting going and the defenders are like,
I don't want to get hit by him.
I don't want to tackle this guy again.
No, I think this goes to what you were talking about, Ben, in the sense of Matt LaFleur just has to be better, right? And I think last game we saw a glimpse of what the second half is going to look like because Josh Jacobs got the ball early, but also they devised up different ways for him to get the ball out the backfield as a receiver, right? Having 4 catches last week. So I absolutely agree that in order for this Packers offense to truly be at their potential, it's going to take for Josh Jacobs to get as many touches as possible because when he touches the ball, most of the times, good things happen. And I think you just hit it as well, Brad. You keep pounding him because eventually with Josh Jacobs, he does not tire. He wears down the defense, and that's how you winning. That's how you have winning football right there.
So optimistic. I loved the post-game press conference. It was week 2. I wrote this down somewhere. 32 carries. 32 carries in the Willis-Josh Jacobs game against the Indianapolis Colts. And my man was ready for 8 more carries. He was like, put me back out there. I'll keep hitting guys. He can carry that load. And I think utilizing that in the red zone especially will be super important because what have we learned? They are bad, bottom of the league, 29th in red zone efficiency. That's not good enough for a team as we're talking about all these things of emerging in the second half and making that run. I think we've all made some very good points. I think KBN Nation has as well as they keep chiming in. Pass rush, they open up the rest of the defense. Pressure equals turnovers. Yes, I think they were reliant upon turnovers, but ultimately what can get you back in the turnover game is making quarterbacks make bad decisions under duress, and we haven't seen that from this pass rush. We send it over to the KBN Sports Desk with El Strofe.
El Strofe!
El Strofe!
If you said it like that, I might enjoy
El Strofe!
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
What do you got for us, bud? You
really,
can even just pick from ours if we hit it. It's okay.
No, you didn't. I mean, you kind of did.
Wow. Oh, wow. You're so
but look,
smart.
We all look defensively, right? So, like, it's the middle of the defense for me. So, whether that's Kenny Clark, whether that's any of those guys in the middle of the defensive line, Devontae Wyatt, etc., or if we go back a level.
I was going to say, this is a good one.
Quay Walker.
I thought about it.
You're asking him to do something you've never seen him do.
Yeah,
he was bad against Chicago.
Perform well.
Well, he's done some good things.
But
right?
some's not good.
The thing with him is he's quick. He's incredibly athletic. He just hasn't put it all together. And if he does, which I'm not saying he will, but if he does,
for the sake of the conversation,
it elevates that defense.
It absolutely does. I like that answer a lot.
Stopping the run.
That's where my
becomes a real
head
thing.
goes. But obviously, Kenny Clark's been double teamed. Devontae Wyatt was good pre-injury, but somewhere in the middle of that defense, they need somebody to pop because it's going to help take that defense to the next level. Because they've been overall good defensively,
solid,
good. Maybe
the hard part is when we think back of the third down efficiency of the Bears and the fourth down efficiency of the Bears, right? Like that's where Strofe is hitting it on the head of somewhere in the middle of that defense. And I think it all ties together, right? If we can get the middle, we're asking for a lot right now. Middle of defense, just give us a little bit extra. Somebody on the edge, be consistent. And if somebody can also take a step in the middle of the defense, say that second level of Quay Walker or consistency from Edgerrin Cooper, who makes flashy plays but is in his first year, that will help create the turnovers that we became so accustomed to in the first half of the season.
That's what's so interesting about this defense, right? Because Strofe mentions that they're a good defense. Statistically speaking, they're kind of right there in the middle, maybe in like the low 10 digits, right? 10 to 15 for most categories. So that's pretty good. Not championship level, but pretty good. The thing is that I keep on remembering John Anderson saying on our airways a long time ago, he said this.
The key. Stop.
Yep, get the stop when it matters. And it just always seems like end of game or putting teams away, we're either holding on for dear life or just like the Chicago Bear game where we just give them the yards and obviously special teams.
There's been three we've pointed to a lot this week. Jacksonville, Chicago, and there's one other I'm blanking on.
Jacksonville, Chicago.
3 what we're pointing to?
Where they had an opportunity to put the game away while they're up, and they didn't get that stop.
Was it
the Rams? Stop. Maybe Houston. The Rams. The Rams without Koopa and
Koopa. We put it together.
Cooper and Puka. It's Koopa. That's actually a great nickname for the Rams duo, Koopa. But yes, it was Whittingham. Whittingham was catching the ball like it was Justin Jefferson.
It just seems like the fourth quarter.
Whittingham?
With the Rams, yeah.
Is it Whittingham or is it Whittington?
Oh, good question.
Whittingham.
Don't know. We don't know.
The fact that we don't know says everything I need to know about the Packers defense. And they can't get those big stops when it matters consistently because that's what you need. A defense that when you get the lead suffocates out the other team. Yeah. And you look at it and being like, I don't know how we're going to move the ball on this team.
That's what D linemen are good for. And unfortunately, you don't have that disruptive force that can change and who can make them play. And last week with Sean Gary, he made the play. And then next you know, 3rd and 16, Kingsley and Mbari, I believe, missed a sack, and they got the first down, and staring to the camera meant nothing.
Yes, it sure did. But
tough stare, though.
Quite a look.
It was a tough stare.
Rob chimes in as the conversations evolve, right? I hit on the Josh Jacobs, Matt LaFleur thing. They need to get under center in the red zone, especially inside the 10. Get some motion, play action. The shotgun is driving me nuts. Now we're getting in the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, the shotgun was trash.
Sounds like the Wisconsin Badgers. Shotgun, red zone.
It doesn't matter who calls the plays.
Doesn't matter.
You missed it. That is what Luke Fickle had said. In reference to Phil Longo being gone and trying to cover for whoever's next as offensive coordinator. Greg Scalzo, Big Boss, Vice President of Good Karma Brands, will be joining Kyle, Brust, and Nortman a day after he had a reunion with me. We did Scalzo and Brust live from Potawatomi Casino Hotel for the weekly wager. Greg Scalzo, Big Boss.
You think he's sick of you?
Never. He'd say the same thing.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Gosh, I'm thinking about
this. You need to shovel the pathway to the lake, okay? I had to step through snow in order to get to the lake.
I think Kyle's the Karen of the show.
I think
he's high maintenance, for sure.
I think Kyle pays taxes in the county of Milwaukee that just went up, so I expect for this stuff to be plowed.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we just have an accident really northbound on 41 just past North Avenue. Left lane is blocked, so we got backups all the way back past Watertown Plank Road. Other than that, we're pretty much in the clear right now. Southbound 43 backing up just a little bit from Hampton down to Capitol Drive. Maybe a little bit coming over the high-rise bridge as well onto 4394. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Rain showers and cloudy, and it'll be above freezing, breezy with a low of 37. And tomorrow, cloudy and breezy, a high of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising. Like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time. A time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The Green Bay Packers leave Chicago with a 20-19 victory in Week 11, thanks to Carl Brooks blocking a potential game-winning Bears field goal, a game in which the Packers spend most of the time being outplayed. But as head coach Matt LaFleur knows,
I mean, it's one game, so I'm not worried about what's happened in the past. It's one game. It's great to come away with a win when you don't feel like you necessarily played your best.
Jordan Love just 13 of 17 and another interception in the red zone. The Packers welcome 5-5 San Francisco to Green Bay on Sunday for a 3:25 kick.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Lofts, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. ESPN Milwaukee's Big Boss.
I'm not going to be able to help you.
The only one who holds Ben accountable.
We each do our own research, Ben.
Welcome to Thursdays with Greg Scalzo.
Happy Thursday!
On Kyle, Brust, and Norton.
Poor Alex Strofe, El Strophe. Put a little Grateful Dead open for Greg Scalzo, and you didn't even listen to it.
We're talking spreadsheets.
Well, he's on Shakedown Street here.
He's ungrateful. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a good one right there.
Calling out the VP like that. Ungrateful.
I didn't hear what he said. What'd you say?
Ben Brust, Kyle Walls,
Didn't
Brad
somebody
Nortman.
from the Grateful Dead just pass?
Yeah, the bassist, I believe.
Phil Lesh, yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah. How old are they? Are they that old?
I mean, yeah, they started in the 60s.
Was he the
Warlocks.
Was he the first member to
drugs
pass?
all the time.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to lie. Drugs aren't good, man. I feel like all the...
I mean, Phil Lesh single-handedly redefined how the bass is played. So shout out to that
Powerful.
man.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Just some music knowledge for you all.
Yeah, Bob Weir,
it's,
however, is still
there right here.
He's still going strong. But
Did he do the drugs too?
He stopped doing drugs very early on.
See, smart guy.
And then he was like way ahead of all the new age stuff with like, you got to eat organic foods, you got to do yoga and meditation and all that stuff. So he's still playing music.
That's what's up.
Still kicking. Greg Scalzo, the big boss, joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. If you want to interact with us or see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. Greg, we've had a lot of conversation. We'll go with the first two Packers, unless you want to derail this at any moment. If you could only have one win for the Green Bay Packers, it's either against the 49ers this week or 2 weeks against the Lions. You can only have one of those. Which one do you want?
I mean, the Lions. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're in the division. They're the best team in the NFC right now. It's going to give you a lot more confidence. You seemingly have to go through the Lions in the playoffs. I would say the Lions.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. That's what Kyle said. The counter argument is right now the Packers sit in the 6th spot. Yep. If nothing changes and the Niners find a way to win the West, they'd be in the 3 spot.
Sure.
Then first game, you're going to play the Niners in the wild card round, and Mr. PTSD over here is so scared of the 49ers.
Likely an improved 49ers team at that point.
Yeah,
and you have the chance to bury them right now.
But I agree.
This is the worst that they're going to be all year.
Probably.
You beat the best, you get confidence, and you forget all the spreadsheet stuff that Brad was talking about. Although this changes the wild card.
What does the regular season matter beating the 49ers when you can't do it in the playoffs?
I agree. They've done it.
This is a virtual playoff game for the 49ers. You want to beat them in the playoffs. This is their
Brad,
playoff
virtual.
game.
You know what's not virtual? Reality. And a reality playoff game is when I really need them to beat them.
Well, I just would rather not face them in the playoffs. How about that? You want to go to San Francisco than to Detroit?
No,
you can end that today. No, Sunday, really, but not today.
Trying it on Sunday. Next for you, Greg Scalzo. So I hate when he's here.
Look how prepared he is. So last night, right, I'm driving to Potawatomi and I'm calling him. I'm hosting the weekly wager with Ben. Ben's the only one that's on the show. And I'm calling him, trying to figure out, because he wants me to lead the show.
Oh, wow. You didn't want to lead?
No, I wanted to lead, but if we're going to do a Scalzo and Brust reunion.
You were like, why don't you lead? So I call him to be like, what segments do I have to be prepared for? They're opens. And he's like, I'm at the table right now.
What?
I'm at the table right now.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You went to work to play before you went back to work?
One of our great teammates. I did get smoked.
Beforehand.
Teammate development. I was with one of our great teammates in our office, and we went and played a little couple hands.
And so I walk into the show having no idea what's going on, and Ben's like, you got it.
He always does.
And then every single day I walk by the war room of KBN, and there's 17 people working on the show prep, but I'm on one show, and he's like, nah, I don't got to do anything for it.
Did you figure it out?
What's next?
No, did you figure it out?
I did, but what's next?
Great
What do you
show.
mean, did you figure it out? You really didn't help him like that?
I helped him. He left out the part.
DiMaggio.
He left out the part when I called him back.
So who led it? Ben?
I led it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but Josh was the one that told me,
three points of it.
Well, that's true. I wasn't going to go through the contesting rules.
I took over for that.
I wasn't going to do that.
Big rules guy.
How was it being back with the Scalzo and Brust crew? The full team?
Oh, it was good. We got to rip Ben right off the bat.
I saw.
It's what he started with. He said he's got a little shook from
and it was classic experience. Ben. He was so shook. So we put 3 live bets on, 3 first quarter bets between the 2 college football games and the Bucks
Fire
first quarter.
Chips, that one?
Say it again.
Central Michigan Fire Up Chips. Y'all put on that
it was Eastern Michigan.
Oh.
Eastern Michigan. We lost that bet. We pushed on the
Ohio Bobcats.
Toledo game, and then we won first quarter Bucks game. And so we had a betting slip that was $180, right?
Oh, wow.
$173 we were going to get back.
Oh, wow.
And the show ends, and Ben, who had the betting slip, nobody could find it.
Oh.
What do you mean nobody could find it?
Ben
we literally couldn't find it.
Slip away, so we didn't know where
what
it
do you
was.
mean you threw it away?
And Ben,
What do you mean I threw it away? It's in the trash.
What,
the one that you won?
Dumpster diving?
The fabulous Haley at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Ben is literally crumping up every piece of paper and throwing it at this woman, right? Our fabulous partner. And he's throwing it at her and she doesn't know what to do. And he's sweating and he's manic and he's throwing paper at her. And then eventually we check everybody's backpack. We don't know where the betting slip is. And he's going through the trash like an animal, throwing empty water bottles behind him, making a mess everywhere
found the ticket.
he is.
Wow. It's $180. You go dumpster diving too, Kyle.
And it was in the trash?
It was in the trash. He crumpled it up. It's ripped. It's in the trash.
Did they take it ripped?
No, they took
They
it.
did. And she goes, what did you do? Throw this away?
I said, yep.
Something wrong with you.
Unbelievable.
So wait, how did you have
It's
time
Greg's
to do
fault.
this?
When I'm around Greg, he makes me weird.
Why does he make you
I'm
feel
glad
weird?
that I'm going to be standing next to you when you get married.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow. Great
It's going to be
point.
straight out of what's the old school? Greg's going to be whispering in me. Greg Scalzo joining us here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Yes, we did have a great time, but I want to turn over to Brad. I don't care who Greg thinks needs to emerge for the Green Bay Packers to make a second half run. We've got great responses from KBN
It's all
Nation.
Jordan Love.
Yeah, I said outside of Jordan Love.
Nobody.
Oh,
All right.
come on now.
It's Jordan Love.
They don't have a pass
no,
rush.
no,
They're 30th
no,
in red zone efficiency.
They don't have a pass rush.
No, I'm going to kill this right now. Because if it just came down to the quarterback, granted this quarterback in the end was boo-boo in the playoffs, and when it really mattered, we would have more than one Super Bowl if it just came down to Aaron Rodgers. But the one time we won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers.
We're talking about for the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I already said last time I was on they're not winning the Super Bowl.
But we're living in a hypothetical world here. We got to keep hope alive.
Look, the pass rush ain't getting better. Right?
It's
brutal.
Oh, this is just a cold dose of reality.
It's not getting any better.
No,
He's
we're
projecting.
No, he's
I'm
not projecting.
No, it's not getting better. The way the
He's
Packers
right.
are going to win is Jordan Love being absolutely incredible in a way that like very few quarterbacks have been able to do. But Jordan Love has the potential to do it. So if you want to get there, it's just Jordan Love being the MVP for the rest of the year.
You've quit on Rashawn and Kenny and Lucas Van Ness. What do you think of Van Ness?
I think Rashawn is good for the system that they had, but he's not built for the system they have now.
What do you mean? He sucked at the end of last year.
He sure did. 3-4, 4-3. Maybe we're learning it's the talent.
I still kind of like Rashawn though. Like I want him.
Why?
To be great.
Everyone wants him to be great, but he's not being great.
He got hurt. This was the year he should have been better, right?
You're a big second year off the ACL guy.
I know.
It's a feel-good story, but there's nothing to feel good about.
I couldn't agree more. The pass rush is going to continue to be bad. It's all just about Jordan Love and that offense.
So as Greg has risen in the company, he is now a VP. I think he would love to hear what Brad is proposing around the workplace for workplace handshake etiquette.
Yeah, so I hear Brad out yesterday. All my hear Brad outs, they're all like my children. I love them, but this one I love especially. Universal handshake etiquette, right? In all the different areas.
You'd think it'd be simple, but you might need a notebook.
You know, I go in for a handshake. Someone else goes in for a bro hug. Someone goes in for a hug. I go in for a fist bump. I want to eradicate all that lack of clarity. So I'm going to establish rules for universal handshake etiquette. Let's start in the workplace. You'll appreciate this, Greg.
Yeah.
In the workplace, I don't care if you're dating someone. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you've never met. Handshakes only. No hugs, no fist bumps, no bro hugs, only handshakes all the time in the workplace. Because, let's be honest, this is a professional environment, and you just get things in the workplace where it's like, do you hug them? Do you fist pump? Is it a handshake? Across the board. No exceptions. Only handshakes in the workplace. What do you say to that?
Does that extend to your teammates outside of the workplace? So, like, all of a sudden you're at an event. Like, you're leaving an event. You're shaking hands with everybody as you leave.
You shake hands.
Yeah.
You shake hands.
Okay.
And now
I like the dap.
Yeah. See, I'm a
fist bump.
Greg's a huge fist bump guy.
Like, I never want to have to be like, oh, I'm hugging this person, I'm shaking hands, so I just go.
So you're
like that
you're gonna
about
love
Greg.
this one then. In a social setting, if you're meeting for the first time, fist bump. I don't know you. You don't know me. I don't want to touch your hand. It's casual. It's easy. After 6 months of fist bumping, if you're a dude, you graduate to the bro hug. You can do 6 months of fist bumping. 6 months of fist bumping, and then you got to a point where there's comfort. Then you can bro hug. If it's a lady friend, a year of fist bumps, and then you can go in for a hug if she initiates it. Only if she initiates it. What else we got here? First date. First date, side hug only. You're going hip to hip. That's what we want to be above board here. We want to just be a gentleman. You side hug only. That's a respectful way to do it. If you
I haven't been on a first date, Brad, in 15 years.
Damn.
So I don't know about that. I don't know what the etiquette is at this point.
And
I can tell you it's not side hug.
Finally.
Oh, wow. Well, I can't tell you that, but
Finally, if you get to bro hug and if you get to hug, if you haven't seen it for over a year, you revert back to the fist bump.
there's so many rules.
But what it does is it eliminates all the lack of clarity. Because nobody knows.
Pop in
Nobody
here.
knows.
Strofe, pop in here because today we had lack of clarity.
We had a situation today, yeah, it wasn't good. So me and Benny were walking down the hallway, Brad, and we didn't really know what to do. It was like he came in 3 hours late because there was an inch of snow on the ground. That's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to say hello to him. Typically, I give him a fist bump, but we're not supposed to do that in the workplace.
Correct.
But we've worked together for 3 years, 3+ years. So we then initially went for the bro hug. We were like, wait a minute, we're in the workplace. Should we shake hands? But that's not very
You had us thinking.
Why would you guys do the bro hug in the middle of the work? You
that's
see each other
weird.
every day.
Strove's a toucher. He's a toucher.
Yeah, you are a
Yeah, I'm
little
a touchy guy.
See, I think you could go handshake or fist bump in the workplace. Because again, if you're walking by somebody, like, you're not going to stop and shake hands. Like a quick fist bump. You know, when Strofe walks into my office
But
after 5 every day.
I dap you up.
I have breaking news here on Kyle Brust and Nortman. According to sources and sources close to Good Karma Brand, someone who heads our training department says, I will not be training this. So, Brad, it's thrown out already from the higher-ups.
Oh, no. Well, what could have been?
I actually like this
because the
idea,
lack of
though.
clarity that Ben and Strofe experienced today.
Are you saying our company needs a training guide on how to interact with teammates?
I think you guys are the same person and you just can't figure out how to interact with them.
Yeah, that is a them problem.
We do have some manic energy between, we don't know if it's our divorced parent situation
Should
or
I
what
not
it is.
dap you up when I see you now? I like the reassurance that we're on good terms.
Do we go fist bump?
No, we go dap usually. We're one of those.
You dap. You're a
I
boss.
dap Greg.
You're big boss?
Well, okay, but you have to understand, Greg, I respect Greg. I don't view him as my big boss.
Oh, wow. That's an indictment on Greg.
Intimidating a little more,
what do you
Scalzo.
view him as?
A peer, apparently.
He's like my buddy. I don't know. He's like my friend.
Oh, you're buddy.
Oh, my gosh.
We're
How about
buddies.
I can tell you that. Greg doesn't think that about you.
That's because I plucked Alex Strofe out of obscurity and brought him into the company. So
Oh,
we
wow.
got a different level of relationship on that.
Yeah, he was under the training of Jesse Nelson. He got him out of that whitey-tighty hall monitor era.
Even before he got to ESPN Madison,
Even
when he was
before
a
that.
lowly college student. You know,
Oh, lowly.
I uncovered.
He's still lowly.
At least I have my degree.
Don't we all?
I have my degree.
Yeah.
We all could have been lowly and
We all do. Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I'm more interested in how all of a sudden my boss came to me and said, the KBN crew is saying that you are unapproachable as a market manager.
apparently that's a Strofe. He thinks you're a peer.
And I come into your show prep with the 17 people in there, and for those wondering how that came to be, it all of a sudden was like, well, you didn't send an email out because it's snowing out, and you should really be sending an email when there's an inch of snow to let people know.
Just need no expectations.
That they can start working from home.
Yeah, I wasn't part of this
Kyle
conversation.
wasn't in the room.
If I was, I would have said this is ridiculous. This is absolutely
Get your
ridiculous.
behinds to work?
Yeah, what the hell? Yeah. I woke up this morning, I saw snow. I said, damn, I got to get ready to be prepared to get to work because of the snow.
And what did you do?
I got in the car, and I ran one quick errand to drop. I had to return some stuff, and I took my behind straight to work.
And what did you do?
Sat down and got to work.
You forgot your backpack.
Oh, yeah, because of snow. But still, I'm here. I got a other
You
laptop.
got another laptop.
Yeah.
You figured
Found
it
a
out.
way.
You overcame adversity.
I'm not a quitter like some people around here looking for the easy way out.
Wait a second. So I'm confused because apparently this was all said when I wasn't in the room, and now I'm right here and nobody's saying anything.
Yeah, they're real quiet, ain't they?
Yeah, they're real quiet.
Real quiet.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one person who may have done this, who do you think it was?
Yours truly.
I believe
Stirring
that.
the pot.
Yeah, just pot stirring a little bit.
Yeah.
Keeping things interesting
Oh,
around
I
here.
want to work from home. It's snowing outside.
No.
Well,
You
I
know
wanna
we
work
used to
from
show up in the
home.
polar vortex.
It took a long time to get you to be the tough guy that you are now. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Well,
What do you mean,
Sure
you were
did.
asked not
Real
to come?
tough. Hold on. Two things about this related to Benny Brust. And then I know you're busy, so you've got to go. But inch of snow on the ground. What time did Ben come to work today?
10:30.
And what
Between
is
me and my manager.
And what is he wearing on his feet?
Timberland boots that I bought him.
You are Ben Brust sugar daddy.
Oh,
That's
daddy.
That's not how a sugar daddy goes. You know what? He bought me steaks, I think, that year. He bought me Omaha steaks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good gift.
We
Good
exchange
gift.
gifts. But I just want this on the record for all of you, and for if there is less than 6 inches of snow,
come to work.
I ain't even going to send an email.
You know what?
This is Wisconsin.
Cut that, and you can send the email to the entire office. Say, this is the official statement from the market manager.
Yes, we work in the snow. We live in Wisconsin. We are an in-office organization. When there's less than 6 inches, you do not even need to ask. We go to work.
Sounds like a dictatorship
Powerful.
It is not a dictatorship.
I don't know.
I'm
That's
setting
how I
the
heard it.
expectation very clearly, and I think it's a very fair expectation. Do you agree?
No, I think it's pretty fair. Just like with schools, right? If there's less than 6 inches, don't even call. You don't have to do the phone chain. You just know you're going to school, going
That's
to work.
reasonable.
And
don't be
the
soft.
best way to end the segment is Dave from Aaron always asking, Greg, you're looking good. How's Stroph's Rays coming?
What, Ray?
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Greg.
It's going to be that much longer now that he's trying to get his buddy, his other buddy, out of coming into the office. Because there's one person he threw under the bus when I confronted this group that wasn't in the office.
Oh, where's the social media extraordinaire?
Oh, he did.
Right under the bus. Under the bus.
You sure did. You
Anything
sure
to say,
did.
Strofe?
That's between her and her manager.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
If I was as tall and as talented as you, if I could shoot as well as you could, both them teams would have won. Because you know what?
Okay.
You did a fake punch, you said, in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And I would have did fake point. I would have took it to the house. I would have scored a dang touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
46 yards for the win.
The green and gold were saved by the Okay, we're not going to say it.
And it's blocked!
After the win in Chicago, another game with playoff implications on tap for the Pack on Sunday. Catch Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, and Super Bowl champion Jared Bush for Green Bay Game Day on Sunday, live from the shadow of Lambeau Field. Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Sunday starting at noon, here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
This year, the Packers have scored touchdowns on 19 of their 39 red zone possessions to rank 27th in the NFL. They haven't finished the season with touchdowns on fewer than half of their red zone drives since 2006. Running back Josh Jacobs says the fix is on all 11 guys doing their job inside the 20.
I feel like sometimes we pick the wrong time to have a MA. Like we might have a mishap here, and it's like not in here. Like, in the red zone, you got to be perfect.
The Packers look to get things righted in the red zone this Sunday when they welcome the San Francisco 49ers to Lambeau Field. Kickoff is at 3:25.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Little by little, some banks are pecking away at your balance with fees on their checking. You need an account with no monthly fee. Make the switch to Tri-City. Tri-City National Bank. Member FDIC.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Give the gift of a special night out from the Bartolotta Restaurants. Purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a 700 milliliter bottle of Water Joe at your local Festival Foods for 99 cents now until December 8th. Just purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. It's a great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drinks. Get that 700 milliliter bottle of Water Joe for only 99 cents through December 8th at your local Festival Foods location.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
Brian Greenhorse.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
The 2021 championship is one of the purest championships.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
Even if Giannis wins 2 more, it will never be like that.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
The mountaintop was achieved.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
It's a crying shame, but I won't let her.
This is why, Strofe, we stopped giving Kyle the ability to tell the producer what song to play. Because I think you do a good job bringing us back in with good music.
What is this? Listen.
They didn't think I would do it, but I did it.
Hey. Yeah, hey.
Look at all. Like this man is talking through like a cardboard roll of toilet paper.
I like this. This is motivational to me because they thought they could change me, but they can't change me. You know what I'm saying? Success.
Never change.
You don't want to change. You want to improve and grow.
Success. Listen, we won the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. They ain't changed me. You know what I'm saying? It didn't change.
Oh wow. Who's trying to change you?
Cool.
Some people out here trying to change us, but we're never gonna change.
No one's trying to change him, but he's like, I love this song. Everyone's trying to change me.
No, I do. Everybody wants to change.
That's Kyle Wallace. I'm Ben Brust alongside Super Bowl 50 runner-up, AFC Championship runner-up, two-time Rose Bowl runner-up, and high school state football runner-up Brad Nortman.
You know, that hits extra hard today because this would be the,
17th anniversary?
17th anniversary of losing in the state championship. This is where second place Brad took off. This is where the trajectory of my career.
It's more than 17, buddy. You lost in
2006.
18 years, almost 19.
It was 2006.
18 years.
Man, oh man. That's
You're
crazy.
old.
I'm old.
I can't believe that.
One thing I can't believe is we talked about this last segment when Greg Scalzo joined us, said that Ben Brust threw away their betting slip, the one that won.
Ridiculous.
I know when I went to the gorgeous, beautiful sports book at Potawatomi, went with all my couples, and it was amazing.
All your couples?
Well, yeah, there's like 10 of us.
What's going on? That party at Potto?
All right. It was 10.
Different keys with different tickets?
And the five of us dudes put in a bunch of money together to do all the same bets. And so we had all these different betting slips, and they said, Brad, you're in control of them. You handle them. You track if they win. It was all ones that would conclude that night. But I felt like I had the weight of the world in my hands. I felt like I was protecting those like they were my Here Brad Outs, like they were my babies, like they were my kids. So I can't imagine Ben Brust throwing away, particularly the winning betting slip.
All right, so one thing that I do while I'm like in the show is after every live read, we love talking about our great partners. When I'm done with that, I take it and I throw it in the trash, right? So as I go through the show and I'm like, we have Homer, or today we'll have Balaga. As I ask the last question of Balaga, I will start throwing everything away. And so I think naturally they printed out 10 different pieces of paper. You've been there. They have futures. They have player of the year, MVP, offensive player, college football, NBA. They give us all these pieces of paper. I was like, this is too much for me. I got the website on my computer. I have the betting slip right next to me. And at some point, I think as I was flipping through the paper, it got mixed up in there.
Got caught up in it?
That's a bad excuse.
I don't know.
Bad excuse. That paper, that's the piece of paper. What are they, 8.5 by 12 or 10 or something like that? Compared to that little receipt that they.
That's what I'm saying. It got lost in the shuffle, and I threw it away, and I had to get it back.
Irresponsible. You're supposed to cherish those tickets. You sit there and you go in.
I
with
did.
Some guys.
We found it.
The Scalzo and Brust crew is all back together. You're just being careless, throwing paper into the garbage like that. That's ridiculous. I'm glad it wasn't our ticket, because I tell you this right now, I would have threw a fit. If I thought I won some money and then Ben talking about I lost it, you lost it, I would have made you go dumpster diving too.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get it because that was $180 that we had to go keep playing with.
What'd your level of panic hit?
Oh, high.
What did you put down to win 180?
Well, we each had $60 on each bet. So, again, man, it was a lot more. Yeah. It was 180, and we could have won like 3-something, but we won one, so we ended up getting that money back, plus the tie that we had. So we got $180 back.
It's a valuable piece of paper in that.
Valuable in that spot.
Drinks on you.
Well, we obviously reinvested in the Potawatomi Casino Hotel, and they're great table games, slot machines. We didn't play bingo, but we could have played bingo. We could have done a lot. That's why I love the 2,000 square foot video wall. Reinvest in some sports betting and enjoy great food at the kitchen. It's the best restaurant in town. Of course, Josh DiMaggio, Greg Scalzo after the weekly wager. What do you think they did, Brad?
They went and gambled some more?
No, they took food home from the best place that we get food whenever we do remote broadcasts there.
Wise move.
I'm ready to go back.
Josh, he was eating his Reuben for lunch today from the kitchen.
Hey!
The Reuben is so good.
It's so good. Best pancakes I've ever had from the kitchen. Ever.
Want to get back to what we were discussing with you, KBN Nation, because I wonder if there's anyone we're missing. We'll go through the list of players we think need to emerge in order for this team to have a great second half of the season. And I want to revisit what Greg Scalzo said about Jordan Love and see if we are maybe overthinking it, if Greg is right. Greg Scalzo joined us. If you missed any of our show, go back and listen. WisconsinOnDemand.com or watch on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. We're back in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You're gonna give them all your money. Radio plays what they want you to hear. Tell me it's cool. I just don't believe it. Sell out with me. Oh yeah, sell out.
Well,
Well, we had earlier accident on northbound 41 just past North Avenue. That has been picked up and gotten out of the way. Now we're just left with delays from just before Mayfair Road all the way up past Burleigh. Southbound on 41, backing up a bit from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. Southbound 43, a bit heavy from Hampton down to Capitol, and then again right through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, rain showers end. It'll be cloudy above freezing. It'll be breezy with a low of 37. Then tomorrow, cloudy and breezy, a high of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Rick, describe some of our wow Christmas gifts while Sarah and I name the prices and add a little commentary.
Okay. A 1.5 carat total weight diamond bolo bracelet.
Amazingly unique. Just $1,598.
Half carat total weight inside outside diamond hoop earrings.
Just $698.
1 carat total weight is just $898.
A fabulous 3 carat oval created diamond.
But we only have a few of these.
Just $3,998.
A 1 carat total weight created diamond tennis bracelet.
Just $898.
We also have the big 1 carat total weight natural diamond tennis bracelet for just $1,798.
And from now until Christmas, we have 18 months same as cash financing.
With approved credit.
And a delightful gift for you with every purchase of at least $300.
Merry Christmas.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. Holla, we them boys. Holla, holla, holla. We making noise. Holla.
It's the 4-1 hour at 4 on a snowy day on KBN.
Thanks for the weather update, Kyle. I'm Ben Brust alongside Brad Nortman.
Well done, Bennett.
Alex Strofe running the show. UKBN Nation 800-990 ESPN on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee.
Kyle, what's the forecast look like this week?
I know. So basically, because I listened to Debbie last
week, I
understand that tonight, even though we had snow tonight is going to be about a low. I think like a low of 37. But we may get some rain, and tomorrow we may get some more snow as well. So just be prepared for another snowy day or some rain.
Do you mean to send you over to do news for 620 WTMJ next?
I could probably do it. Out of the four of us, I can probably do the best news.
I've got traffic update coming in 11 minutes if you want to hit it.
Sure.
You don't know what the roads are.
Icy. Be careful.
Icy. Be careful. Don't get out of your car.
Please don't.
That's what they say. Per Matt Schneidman of The Athletic, I see this on Twitter X. Jair Alexander told The Athletic that he suffered a tear in his PCL earlier this season and re-aggravated the injury in Chicago. He is unsure of his return timetable, but he's confident he'll return to all-pro form later this season.
Okay, I'm sure he will.
Brad, you sound very confident, as you were the one, as we asked outside of Jay Love, who's going to emerge for this team to make a Super Bowl run. You said Jair. Kyle said Rashawn Gary, and I said I want to see Matt LaFleur step up his game because Josh Jacobs has been way too efficient in their losses and not getting enough carries. I know there's game flow to that, but I think there's ways you still could have utilized them in those spots. We can go to our poll quickly before we get back to that news because I do think it's interesting to look at KBN ESPN on Twitter. It is a runaway. It is a runaway train. Rashawn Gary leading the way at 72% of the vote. Jair Alexander at 23%. Tucker Kraft 3% and 2% chime in with some Quay Walkers. We see Kenny Clark. And that goes a lot to what we talked about. Strofe mentioned Quay Walker. We mentioned anybody from the defensive line.
Well, it's concerning how much on defense we're pointing to when I still think the old moniker of defense wins championships goes a long way. Look at Kansas City last year. They had a great defense. So To me, it's Jair Alexander, though, and hearing that news that he re-aggravated a torn PCL, he's going to be out for now an undetermined amount of time, thinking that he can return to all-pro form, though. We haven't seen him play consistently in all-pro form for a very long time.
It's just a statement that doesn't give me confidence exactly for the reasons you just pointed out.
Exactly, and over the last 3 seasons, not including this year, he was in 58% of the games, and then this year, 60%. So 55 to 60% of the games he plays in, and now we know it's going to be significantly more this season. Here's why it's a problem. The Packers rely on a guy like Jair in roster building to be available and effective and good. He's a huge part of the cap, $24 million part of the cap. But the reason why the Packers haven't, invested more in a cornerback higher in the draft, maybe free agency, is because they expect Jair Alexander to go out there and be that guy. Ironically, the Bears game is a microcosm of what the frustration for not for Chicago Bears, for Jair, what he's been. You think he's going to play, you think he's going to contribute, and then when it matters,
just a deflating feeling when they pan to him, and it's like, here we go again. How many times have we said here we go again when it comes to the injury front? I know injuries are part of football, but the consistency that we have to deal with of the injuries is frustrating.
It really is frustrating. So to me, he needs to emerge. He needs to get healthy. You're paying him enough money, and if he doesn't, time to move on from him.
Yeah, and it can be divided, Dave, from Aaron. I think this question can be divided between offense and defense. I'm sticking with Gary on the defense, but I like Benny's answer on the floor. Needing to quit being too cute and stick to the hard-nosed football and give that rock to JJ.
Yeah, I just think it's so unfortunate with Jair hearing this PCL injury. That's not good news because you never know how long that PCL injury is going to take to heal, which means that Jair's probably not going to be around for a while. But most importantly, I guess, if he's back in the playoffs and if he can make the same impact that he made against the Dallas Cowboys and against the 49ers, then I guess that's
much harder if, though. Like you can say
much harder if.
Because he's hurt. And to come off of being hurt,
or whatever he had going on.
He's been hurt the majority of the year with different injuries. Now a re-aggravation of the injury from earlier this season to now saying, if he can play at that high level in the playoffs, like you need to be out there. The best thing you can learn from a guy is what they show you when they're out there. It's a hope game. When you come off of injury, be like, what's this guy going to be like?
And I will say, the defensive line struggling, the second level of linebackers struggling. The one thing the Packers could rely on was a really good secondary with the emergence of Evan Williams, who's playing great football at safety, Xavier McKinney, who's playing at all-pro level, and you rely on Jair. But you take Jair out of there, Eric Stokes isn't playing well. Nixon isn't a great every down corner.
Not outside.
What a bad contract, by the way.
No.
Yes, you know why? Because there was a good chunk of that contract that was going to Keyshawn Nixon for his ability to make plays off the kickoff. And guess what the kickoff's been like?
It's been like eradicated.
It's been just touchback.
That's true.
And then when he gets one deep, he's like, you know what? I'm going to take it randomly now at a bad time in the game and put this team even deeper back in the field.
Reed's returning punts.
Yeah, and for me, overall, when I look at this, we can be upset about the fact that Jair Alexander is consistently hurt, but you're not in a position to move on from a Jair Alexander. So you just have to deal with it, fellas. And so we're just going to deal with the fact that Jair's going to be back next year. And all you can do, I know you said hope
is he going to be back next year?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he will be.
You do not move on from Jair Alexander this year without having
the same song and dance every single year.
I'll do the same song and the same dance until we have somebody ready to put him out there, because at the end of the day, I'd rather have Jair on this roster knowing when he is healthy he can make an impact than trying to rotate guys who might be bums or scrubs out there. So
last year you were the leader of the lawyer clubhouse of Valentine and Ballantyne. You're like, those guys are going to be great. They'll step in as strong starters.
Yeah, Valentine can step in as a strong starter, but right now we haven't found somebody to be across from Valentine who I feel confident in. I don't feel that confident in Keyshawn Nixon when he has to go to the outside. I think,
of course not.
Valentine, I don't know if he's even been playing this year.
He has taken snaps from Eric Stokes.
Well, okay, there it is.
Another big miss.
And Eric Stokes is a miss, so I feel like you need to draft a cornerback in order to make me feel comfortable to move on from Jair Alexander. Not next year, but the year after that.
So
we're trying to win a championship. You can't get rid of talent.
It's such a frustrating thing because Goody's got to pass. Like if he signed his franchise quarterback, whether you believe in Jordan Love or not, like he's the guy. But when it comes to the other 50% of his job, the entire defense outside of Xavier McKinney is built through the draft. And now we've seen it in different schemes. 4-3, 3-4, 3 defensive coordinators. And yes, a lot of the older guys are now gone. Kenny Clark's the longest tenured guy. think he was a Ted guy, if I'm not mistaken.
He
I think he
was.
was. He's the only guy. The rest are Goody's guys, and we're doing the same song and dance as I mentioned. It's getting frustrated. Sooner or later, we can point to the success that he's had drafting offensive players and what it's been like watching this team grow and develop offensively, even if they haven't hit their stride this year. But I'm so sick of the same conversation about the defense because it's what's holding this team back from making another step.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to do exactly what his boy Matt LaFleur did. He after he got Robert Saleh fired, and I say Matt LaFleur and Goody got Robert Saleh fired by tricking him into taking Aaron Rodgers.
Nice.
There was another guy that got tricked that was also followed behind that, and that's Joe Douglas. Maybe Robert Saleh can call Joe Douglas and maybe bring him on the staff and have him build himself back up before he goes and takes another GM job.
I don't want any more Jets around the Packers.
Take those two because the thing is, when we look at this defense, Goody, how much I do love Goody, I shouldn't say love. That's too strong. How much I do like Goody, he has failed this team when it comes to building up a roster that can have impactful talent on the defensive side of the football. He's shown that he knows how to draft on offense. You do a good job with the O-line. You've done a good job at the receiver position. You found the quarterback in Jordan Love. You're able to
ditch the RAS score.
No.
Ditch the RAS score.
Evaluate film. It should be that easy.
I think that's something that you may need to transition to is this guy a baller? I know a guy, Edrin Cooper. That's somebody who, though he probably had a high RAS score because he's very fast, but he's a guy that before the draft, Brad loved him, and a lot of us, if you watch this film, you saw that he popped. He's one of the better linebackers in college football. And so you drafted a guy based off talent that he had.
He's already making those impact plays that we would have wished Quay made.
He is. Evan Williams, another guy. He didn't go high, but he made a lot of plays in college as well. Good college football player. And so at a certain point, we may need to change the way that we're going about this drafting process in order to build up this defense.
Yes, because the window is there, and it will stay open with Love, but you want to take advantage of it.
Yeah, you definitely want to take advantage of all windows, just like I love to take advantage of working with a great partner such as Universal Windows Direct. And let me tell you this right now. When it comes to Universal Windows Direct, they set you up to make sure that your home is not going to be cold on days like today. So if your house feels drafty, it feels cold whatsoever, you should call my friends at Universal Window Direct, and they will take great care of you. And something I love about it, I love a good deal, and I want you all to have a great deal as well, KBN Nation, because I truly do care about you. You know what they have there? They have buy two, get two. They have buy four, get four. They got buy six, get six. If you're looking at your house, you're looking at your different windows, you say, you know what? I want to get these kitchen windows done. I want to get my dining room windows done. I want to get my bay window done. Guess what? Universal Windows Direct, they can come to your house, take a look, and show you all the different options that you have. And they are big. When they came to my house, they said, listen, we're not about having you spend all this money. Here are the different options that you have, and we want to make sure you make the best decision that is great for your budget and also great for your house. And that's the most important thing, having quality windows at a great price, but also that comes with a great lifetime warranty as well. So make sure you call them today for an in-home visit at 414-410-2000. That's 414-410-2000 to schedule your free in-home estimate today. And remember, when you work with them, right now you can get 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 whole years of interest-free financing. Restrictions do apply. Call them today at 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Before becoming relevant with Alex Strofe coming up next, I want to pose a question to everyone on our show and everyone listening. Don't go anywhere. Alex Strofe's time to shine. And a thought-provoking take here from our guy, Milltown Corey, coming up next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
You throw hands?
Do I throw hands?
With T.O.
Will I? No, I throw hands with Andre the Giant, man.
I love you, Lou. That's Lewis from the north side. The north side always knows.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We've got southbound 41 backing up a bit from before Hampton down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43, a little heavy from Hampton to Capitol as well. And then back on the brakes heading through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. On westbound 94, slowing down out of right through the stadium interchange to about Hawley Road. On the eastbound side, we've got some backups from 76th Street all the way to Hawley, and then again through the stadium interchange. Traffic is brought to you by the Bartolotta Restaurants, providing memorable experiences for nearly 30 years. Get the perfect holiday gift this season. Bartolotta's gift card. Purchase yours at bartolottas.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, rain showers should be ending. Cloudy, above freezing, breezy, a low of 37. Then tomorrow, cloudy and breezy, a high of 47. Weather is brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
46 yards for the win.
The green and gold were saved by the Okay, we're not going to say it. After the win in Chicago, another game with playoff implications on tap for the Pack on Sunday. Catch Alex Strofe, Gabe Neitzel, and Super Bowl champion Jared Bush for Green Bay Game Day on Sunday, live from the shadow of Lambeau Field. Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Sunday starting at noon, here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point. With Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Is Gino Auriemma the best coach, college or pro, of our lifetime? So let's put something in perspective, right? 11 titles. Phil Jackson, 11 titles. Coach K, 5 titles. Greg Popovich, 5 titles. Nick Saban, 7 titles. Bill Belichick, 6 titles. Pat Riley, as a head coach, 5 titles. Is Gino Auriemma the best coach of our lifetime?
That one's really difficult because my initial reaction is yes, just based on the numbers and the consistent dominance and the amount of time that he's been able to be this good at his craft. But I then also go to the place of it is probably harder to win at the professional level than it is the collegiate level, no?
And that's why when we start talking about the greatest coaches of our lifetime, I have a penchant of leaning toward Bill Belichick and what he was able to do.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play, like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when tended to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee interior one-coat hide color collection.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Becoming Relevant with Alex Stroh, one of our favorite segments, is going to be coming up shortly. Hanging out with you, KBN Nation, at 800-990-3776.
You're not going to take shots at the fact he plays the same song during the week? Recycler, reuser?
Little too recycly at times, but that's part of the
What are
gig.
you rolling your eyes for, Stroh? Take constructive criticism.
Now, I want to know this.
I think it helps establish the identity of our music catalog when you play more than.
Yeah,
What an answer. Establish the identity of our music catalog.
It's a strong answer, but I think we could add a little more variety.
Yeah, I want more
That
uniqueness.
I won't disagree with, but I feel like, we have 60 segments a week, so 12 of those are top of the hour, so that would be 48 songs I could play in a week.
Why'd you derail this? I have a question I want to ask
sorry.
you.
I don't know, because you
get
got
all sensitive when I take a shot at your music taste, is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your thought-provoking question from somebody?
Milltown Corey.
Let's go.
Should have traded Jair last year, not Rasul.
That's a take.
That's a take.
That's really good.
And
That's a take.
I've noodled this one in my head the last 4 minutes, and here's why.
Noodled it, huh?
Jair was really impactful in the run that they had last year, right? So if Jair's not on the team, do they beat the Cowboys? And I'm saying, yeah, maybe they do.
Yes.
But what he did in turning them over, getting them up, making the Cowboys and Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb early go to each other and start chirping at each other, trying to figure out what the problem is when it was like a 2-score game, that was big. Jair was really good in the second half of the season, so does the season go the same way? But looking at this year, man, Rasul was great after the trade. He was like AFC Player of the Week like 2 straight weeks after they traded him, and he's been consistent for the Bills this year. Looking at his stats or something?
No.
What's wrong?
Keep going.
It just got me thinking, like, hindsight's 20/20, but if you could go back in time, would you do it?
I'd rather trade Jair at this point. I mean, particularly with hindsight, but even when you think about it, the trade was, you trade Rasul and you get a third, but you also give up a fifth, right? I mean, when we had Jason on, he was very strong about, you're getting a third, but not a fifth. I bet you.
Stop. You've already complained enough already.
If you would have traded just Jair, you either get just a third, you maybe even get a second. Trading for like a 6, you get a significantly higher round draft pick. And the biggest thing is, too, guys, they are relying on Jair to be out there. They've structured the whole defense on the fact that he can be your number 1 shutdown guy, and we're going to fill in and plug and play the rest. He's not even doing that. Rasul is playing games. He's being impactful. He might not be like top-end ceiling what Jair is when Jair's playing at his best.
But he'd be available.
He'd be out there. He's a guy. He makes plays. So give me Rasul and a higher draft pick.
Okay, we are playing revisionist history.
Yes, we are.
And
we're doing it.
But we're not remembering the history. Jair Alexander's value is not a second-round pick at this point last year. Jair Alexander was trouble off the field in the sense of we couldn't get him to play.
Good point by Kyle.
And then on top of that, he hadn't played, but he hadn't really played that great at that point. I believe he got cooked against the Minnesota Vikings earlier that year without
JJ. Yes, I'm still mad about KJ Osborne having 4 catches on 1 drive coming out of the second half of that game and watching Keyshawn Nixon and Jair dap each other up.
But I'm disappointed in you, Brad.
Impressive recall on that.
I know. I don't know why that bothered me so much, but it also just bothered me because it was KJ Osborne.
But Brad, you as somebody who likes to look in investment, you don't like to buy. You don't like to sell stocks in a sense when they're low, do you? You like to sell when they're high, and Jair Alexander might have been at the lowest value of what he could have been.
He would have been higher than Rasul, though.
But 2000. So we're talking about the 2023 season. This trade being made. 2022. He was an All-Pro. He played in every game, and he was an All-Pro. So the recent memory, you'd be thinking, okay, it's like late October, early November of 2023. You look back, well, he was named All-Pro less than 9 months ago.
And it was very evident that he hated playing for who?
Joe Barry.
Disgruntled, don't have leverage. There's a lot of different things that go into this.
Disgruntled, get this guy a new home and he'll ball out if he's happy.
I'm satisfied with the trade for Rasul Douglas. I'm satisfied with having Jair Alexander here. Now, obviously, the health we want, Jair.
What are you satisfied about?
Listen, Jair's potential, his ceiling is a lot better than Rasul Douglas.
It's not about potential when you pay a guy.
They struggle when he's not out there, Kyle. And they rely on him to be out there.
But do we not recall the fact that was this football team winning with Rasul Douglas? And not saying it was his fault, but I'm saying, was he a game changer? Were they positive in wins or negative in wins with Rasul Douglas on his roster?
He was a playmaker, so if you can't put a win-loss to a cornerback.
I'm saying he wasn't much of a difference maker. He was a good guy, but he was replaceable. I don't miss Rasul Douglas right now. I don't. I'm not sitting here saying
Jair's not going to be out there.
No, I don't miss Rasul Douglas right now. I mean, obviously, it'd been nice to go back, have him, but I would rather have Jair healthy than have Rasul Douglas on this team.
Well, yeah, okay, Jair healthy versus Rasul healthy is one thing, but what about having Rasul 100% of the time, or even Jair? I'll give you, he historically doesn't play more than 60. I'll give you 65% of the time with Jair. 100% Rasul, 65% of the time with Jair.
What we got for Rasul Douglas, I'll take that every time. I'll take that every single time. Every single time.
But the Packer backer is speaking, Brad.
No,
he follows the G.
No, I'm not trading Jair.
In Goody we trust, huh?
I'm not trading Jair.
I want Stroph's take. El Strophe! What do you think about this hypothetical?
I know what I think about the nickname.
El Strophe.
That's better.
El Strophe.
Yeah, you're trying too hard. It seems like you spit on that microphone.
He did.
El Strophe! There we go.
That was a better one.
What's the question? I got distracted by El Strophe.
Jair at 100%, or Jair 65% of the time being available, or having Rasul 100% of the time. What would you take?
Well, it's Bakhtiari-esque, right? Like, if you're a great player, but you're unreliable, do you really want that person taking up a starting spot? So the answer is Rasul when hindsight is 20/20, but obviously the upside with Jair is higher. So it's a complicated situation, and I get both sides, but the reality is you're stuck with them.
We know that. We know we're stuck with them.
So would you rather
I'm just
have
playing
Rasul-
revisionist history.
No, for real. Would you rather have Jair Alexander watching him make plays on another team, or would you rather have Rasul Douglas
65% of the time
being a solid guy? He gets beat some, he makes some decent plays, but he's just a good corner. Something Carrington Valentine
but he's better than Valentine.
Something he can beat. Carrington Valentine can
The
beat.
answer when asked that way is Rasul Douglas, but the upside is just way higher that 65% of the time. You're going to create more turnovers. You're going to shut down better receivers 65% of the time rather than the 100 you would have Rasul.
Thank you. Like, this is ludicrous.
This is melting my brain.
No, this is ludicrous.
Your only prayer is that Jair gets healthy for the playoffs and gets hot then. But who's to say there's any reliability on that? Because if he's not, Kyle,
We saw it last
you've got
year.
a gutted secondary against Amon-Ra St. Brown and the Lions,
Let me tell you
against
something.
A.J.
Philly?
Brown and
Brad,
Philly.
let me tell you something. Rasul Douglas is going to get cooked by Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's going to get cooked by A.J. Brown.
Oh, you have little faith in Rasul.
No, I'm just saying, Rasul Douglas is a good corner, but he ain't no lockdown corner.
He's going to do a better job than Valentine, Stokes, and Nixon.
I'll have you know that Carrington Valentine is actually doing a decent job this year.
I'm not saying he isn't.
That's Super Bowl
but based off I saw a stat earlier today. Carrington Valentine, when you look
Sassy Brad.
That was sassy.
Sassy Brad.
When you look at the corners, I believe he's ranked like top 10 corner based off yards per catch or something like that.
I'm done with Kyle's made up statistics.
Oh, I'll find it.
You find it.
I'm gonna Google it now.
With that stat,
I can find a good looking car on the road when I see Brad Nortman.
That's because I'm always going to Tsunami Express Car Wash. Today is the kind of day where I am thankful that I'm a ceramic member at Tsunami Express Car Wash. I get to go as many times as I want with the unlimited wash memberships that Tsunami Express has. And especially now, it's a reminder that we live in Wisconsin, people. There's salt, there's grime, there's snow, there's muck and sludge. All that gets on your beautiful, expensive car. And you can get rid of all that with Tsunami Express Car Wash. You're going to use their state-of-the-art wash technology, their powerful free vacuums, and when you are an unlimited wash member like me, you can go every single day if you want. So there's really no excuse on why your car can't be looking beautiful and spotless all year long. And right now, they're on their way to incorporate a new wash category, Alert. T2 with graphene is what they're calling it. It's unbelievable when it comes to what Tsunami
T2, baby.
T2. It's a protective layer, keeping your vehicle cleaner, getting rid of the bugs and the muck and the salt. It's going to be a glossy mirror-like finish. Just another way that Tsunami Express allows you to wash, chill, repeat, and protect your ride all winter long with Tsunami Express Car Wash.
It's time to shine, Alex Strofe. Bring the heat, and then we got Brian Balaga. El Strofe! Next.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Craig Counsell bobblehead that was given away, and we, just did a nice, soliloquy? Is that the right word?
Yeah, like a montage?
Like a Virgil.
Vigil.
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 A vigil. We did a vigil.
Vigil.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 43, we've got some backups basically from just before Hampton down past Capitol Drive. Back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. 41 southbound slowing down from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive as well. Eastbound 94, got a pocket of heavy traffic right past Calhoun. And then again, back on the brakes from 76th Street through to 35th Street. On the westbound side, got some backups from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive. For a fun family activity, visit or volunteer on December 7th. For more information, visit kidstokidstoydrive.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, rain and showers end. Cloudy above freezing. Breezy with a low of 37. Tomorrow, cloudy and breezy, a high of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Ready for a game changer? Now's the time to take your shot with Quartz, your local provider-owned and affordable health insurance. You can choose from a range of benefits to best support you and your family. Quartz is a proud partner of Aurora Healthcare, so you get to stay in the network you love. Visit quartzbenefits.com or call Saganiac Planning 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. Quartz branded health plans are offered by Quartz Health Benefit Plans Corporation, Quartz Health Plan Corporation, and Quartz Health Insurance Corporation, which are separate legal entities. The Saganiac Planning Marquette Records. Coaches have always said, you got to make your free throws. They would have loved the 2017-18 Marquette team that, as a team, shot better than 80%. How? Marcus Howard missed 7, made 105. Andrew Rousey missed 19, made 175. Sam Hauser missed 10, made 51. And Matt Held, he missed 4 and made 28. A team better than 80% from the line. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Cousins Subs is spicing things up this fall with a new sub and a delicious shake. The Chipotle Cheesesteak Sub with either grilled-to-order chicken or steak features pepper jack cheese, sautéed green peppers and onions, jalapenos, and Chipotle ranch dressing. And that's not all. Pair your Chipotle Cheesesteak with a new pumpkin pie shake and your taste buds will fall in love. Order in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
'Tis the season for celebrating, so why not make your holiday gathering unforgettable? Give your team or clients an experience they'll talk about long after the new year with V Private Bar Services. Forget the same old office party. With custom cocktails tailored to your brand and a top-notch mixologist team, V Private Bar Services brings the magic of a high-end bar to your event. Make this holiday season extraordinary. Visit vprivatebar.com to book your premier party today. That's vprivatebar.com for your next unforgettable event.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Time now to hear from our guy Alex Strofe. Listen to Strophe Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee at 12:30 as he hosts Mr. Irrelevant.
What time is that, Kyle?
Mr. Irrelevant?
Yeah.
It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, around 12:15 to 1.
He literally just said the answer and he missed it. I grilled him on this last week, Betty, when you were out.
I literally just said 12:30.
Yeah, he just
It starts at 12:30?
Yeah, we went over this last week as well.
I ignore when you come in. I mean, I just get ready for the next thing. I always move on.
All right, let's just go to the next thing.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant, it's time to become relevant. Strofe's time to shine on KBN starts now.
All right, the story that has encapsulated a nation. The Green Lake man who faked his own death.
This is the Wisconsin guy, right?
I only know this by the headline.
Yeah, but I saw him talk to somebody.
So hold on, we'll get there. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. What do we know about this story?
Man,
Start
he
from
hates
the
his
beginning.
family.
All right, what I know, yes, he has a wife and
Multiple
3
children.
kids,
Yeah.
multiple
How old is this
kids,
man?
2 kids.
Probably 40s.
40s, 50s. Faked his own death.
Yeah.
And then was trying to buy a one-way ticket to Kazakhstan or something like that.
Uzbekistan, yeah.
Uzbekistan. And he talked to a lady on the side of the road and said,
So that wasn't him.
That wasn't him?
That was not him, but they thought it was him because it looked a lot like him. Green Lake Sheriff said it's not him. The FBI reopened that video.
How did he fake his own death?
So he brought his kayak to a very deep lake. I believe it was Green Lake because it is the deepest lake in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow. Good
Flipped it over, threw his cell phone to the bottom of the lake.
Oh, wow.
Rented an e-bike, drove the e-bike from Green Lake to Madison, took a bus from Madison to Detroit, got across the border. I'm serious.
This is a true story.
Crossed the border to Canada and then flew from Canada to an unknown destination because he was using a fake name and nobody knows what the fake name is.
Man, how do you
get a fake passport?
I don't know. If I knew, I probably wouldn't tell you, but I also
really
don't know.
hate your life to do all this.
This is calculated.
So, now, this story has taken another twist.
Uh-oh, I have not heard the twist.
So the Green Lake Sheriff, Mark Podol, said today that he has been in contact with Ryan, I believe his last name is Borchkart, since November 11th.
Oh, wow.
Now, they contacted a Russian woman who speaks Russian who tracked down this man.
Oh, wow.
Now, they just wanted to confirm he was alive, so Ryan recorded a video released today by the I'm not going to play it, but released by the Green Lake Sheriff, where he says, today is November 11th, 2024. I am in my apartment, and I am alive, essentially is the video. He has been in contact. It doesn't sound like he's going to come home. They still don't know where he is. They don't know what country he's in. They just think he's in Eastern Europe.
But they can't, nobody can,
you can't force
they can't summon him home.
What? Yeah, you didn't do anything illegal. Is it illegal?
That poor family.
Other than the resources he caused the Green Lake Sheriffs to use, right? So divers and stuff like that, which is, they said, valued at about $40,000. They don't have any warrants out for his arrest. He cannot talk about possible federal charges, though. Which I assume would be associated with faking his own death.
No.
But isn't this story bananas?
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
This is supposed to happen in Florida.
Yeah, this is
Florida
a Florida guy
does this
story.
stuff.
This is a Florida man story.
Not Wisconsin?
If he just want, so I wonder. Okay, I shouldn't do this because if you're listening, you know this family. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Is his house that scary where he was afraid to just give her papers to say I divorced? He just said, "Listen, I can't leave this woman. She crazy. I gotta."
I don't think that was it.
What do you mean you don't think that
elaborate.
was it? Yeah, it is. Something has to be deeper where he just could not leave.
Like where it's like the only way out of this is death.
Okay.
You
can't try and come up with a rational solution. We're talking about someone who's clearly irrational.
Completely irrational.
Completely irrational.
He clearly didn't have the cojones to get the papers, though, to your point.
Yeah.
But I think that's more of an indication of who he is, rather.
Than her.
He is the one that fled the country, the continent.
Has the family spoke?
No, and I don't imagine they will.
Were they looking for him, though?
Yes, for 2 weeks.
The family was looking for him.
For 2 weeks.
She knew
and they didn't find him in the lake?
No, because he's alive, Brad.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, at what point were they like, something's fishy? His body's not here.
Well, I would imagine when they came out with the release that, hey, he's alive.
Or when they found his phone and they in the bottom of the lake, they probably were like, okay.
He bought burner phones and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's enough
but now
intel to see him going from.
There was literal video proof of him admitting he is alive. Twist that came out today.
How long is the e-bike ride from Green Lake to Madison? That is the craziest part of this. Than a bus from Madison to Detroit. Whatever. And renting an e-bike from Green Lake to Madison, that is utterly crazy.
Is there an e-bike calculator on the internet? There is?
This man is unhinged.
How do e-bikes work? You just pedal and it gives you more momentum?
6.5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
That's not terrible.
Yeah, but if he took a bus from Madison to Detroit, why would you e-bike?
The Green Lake reference is west of Ripon.
But also, he wanted to kind of get off the radar in Green Lake so nobody would see him. And he, kind of blended in Madison. I'm sure there's buses.
77 miles.
Yeah, people do that all the time.
That's a long way to e-bike.
Listen, he was trying to get his freedom.
Biking, e-biking, walking, running, scootering. 77 miles is 77 miles.
Do you think he found a Russian lover?
So sad.
Yes, I do.
Oh, wow.
But I'm just projecting.
I guess that would make sense.
Huh.
Wild story.
It's been living rent-free in my head for a few weeks, so I just needed to get that off my chest.
Happy to talk through it.
Today, National Stuffing Day.
Like dressing?
Well, stuffing and dressing are different, right?
Yeah, different. Stuffing is more thick. Dressing is a little bit more softer.
So
delicious.
I'm in a little bit of a pickle regarding stuffing.
You have a Friendsgiving tonight.
I do have a Friendsgiving tonight.
Oh,
really?
Gosh.
Yeah, so I said I was going to make stuffing from scratch.
Why would you say that?
I don't know.
Stovetop or something like that?
Just say you're making it from scratch and just
do
the rest.
What I did is I made 4 boxes of stuffing last night and put it in a crock pot.
Stuffing in a crock pot?
Well, I already made it.
Good.
I already made it.
I like crock
I'm
pot
just
stuff.
putting it in
like
a
crock pot
to keep it
too.
warm. Just to keep it warm.
Do you feel guilty for being deceitful?
Well, I may have told the host last night after I made the 4 boxes of stuffing that I cut up celery and bread.
You doubled down?
I doubled down, and I don't know why. I don't know why I doubled down. It's just something
You're worse than the Green Lake guy.
Yeah, why did you lie about
this? It's a bed of lies.
Because I wanted to show that, like, hey, I put in effort for this.
You did. You still did, though. You still had to shake it.
Not really, though.
Have you tasted it?
Yeah, it's box stuffing. It's good.
Are you going to triple down?
Well, because you know what happens?
I'm going to get called out.
You know what happens is, at a lot of these, they'll be like, all right, what did you guys like the most? I hope they're like, oh, Stroph's handmade stuffing.
Yeah, Stroph, can you share the recipe?
I think I might triple down.
Yeah,
Can you share the
Stroph,
recipe?
no, it's passed down from generations.
Yeah, my mom, it's my grandma's recipe who's been gone for about a decade.
It stays within the
it's a family
family.
secret.
You'll have to kill me.
Oh my gosh, you're lying on your dead grandmother now? Have you no shame? Integrity? Bro, just
own up.
I was tired.
Just own up.
Tell me what I should do.
I feel your anxious energy right now.
Brad.
I need you to own up.
Brad, do I own up or do I triple down?
Own up.
Ben, do I?
You own up. You gotta own up.
You already know I say you own up. I'm shocked you're going to a Friendsgiving.
Why? I think I don't have friends?
I thought only women did that.
Well, I'm going with my girlfriend.
Oh,
I had
that's
another
even
one on
worse.
Saturday. I have two friends.
That's definitely a younger.
Well, you had a
person thing
Friendsgiving the
to
other
do.
night, didn't you?
Kind of, sort of. It was like a book club.
Why were you at a book club?
Because they invite.
What were you doing
Exactly.
there?
It was the ladies, and they brought the significant others. And they didn't even talk about the damn book. Ever.
It's just a hangout.
They don't do that. They drink wine and gossip.
That's all they do.
Yeah, that's a book club for you. All right, last thing for you fellas.
That's a
Browns-
book club.
Browns, Steelers. Thursday Night Football tonight. Who you got?
Oh, that's easy, isn't it?
Yeah, Steelers. Steelers
No
been a
belief
good
in
surprise.
Jameis?
Well, that's the
Browns
thing.
are a mess.
It's a fishy line. -3.5 only.
Where's the game at?
Cleveland?
At Cleveland, but
And Steelers are favored.
Steelers are 8-2 against the spread the last 10.
Hey, don't bet against Russ now. Russ is having a little renaissance.
Shoot him a little inspirational text message.
He's having a
shoot him a
renaissance. Should I
Hey,
text
Russ,
him?
we were thinking about you today.
Yeah, go get him
Go
tonight.
get him. I'll be watching you at my Friendsgiving.
El Strofe, box stuffing, baby.
How'd I do? How was becoming relevant today?
I like
I liked
That
it
was
today.
a good one. A good
Yeah.
range.
I like the
Good range with a guy who disappeared from his family. You have you lying on your grandma's.
Can we stop peddling that?
This is what I'm just trying to get you to own up. Is what I'm doing.
Rest in peace, Grandma.
Now you feel uncomfortable.
Trying to get you to own up tonight and let them know. I'll FaceTime you.
I'll report
I'll
back.
be like, hey, what's up, Strofe? How's that box stuffing that you fooled everyone with?
Well, here's the thing.
I'm dying to know
Here's
how
the
this
thing.
goes.
So everybody invited to this Friendsgiving works here.
All right, I'm gonna shout it out once I'm done with the show.
Oh wow, why was I invited? I mean, I don't want to be invited.
Oh my
I have
gosh,
no interest in being
you're
invited.
so annoying.
We invited Ben.
Oh wow,
you didn't. That was like the half.
It was
fake.
like a.
Do you
it was a
feel a
fake.
certain way, Brad?
Well, here's how
I
it
don't
went.
want to
Here's how it
go,
went.
but I
am
want to be invited.
Exactly.
Here's how it went. We were upstairs.
I don't want to go, and I didn't even
Ben-
want the invite.
Ben goes, "Oh, you guys have a little Friendsgiving?" And we go, "Yeah, you want to come?" He goes, "No."
Give it a G. I like it. I like it.
Brian Balaga gets us ready for everything Niners Packers next.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
So they are lucky. Those other teams, whether it's Kentucky or whether it's Oregon or was it TCU?
That was TCU.
TCU, they're lucky I didn't play in that game. You got upset by a bad team, TCU.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be.
Kringle
I think his
turnover?
legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry Are you guys being serious? You guys can't put two and two
I got it.
together.
I did not get it when you first
They don't
said
call
it.
themselves Racine Danish turnover. Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for Watch and Tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Ready for the best Black Friday prices on household essentials? You'll find them at Fleet Farm. Doors open Friday at 5 a.m. with a free plush penguin for the first 500. Then enjoy great deals like KT Basic Blend Bird Seed for just $9.99. Diamond Crystal Softener Salt is on sale for $3.99 a bag. And premium hardwood fuel pellets are only $4.99 a bag. Plus, if you can't wait, early Black Friday shopping starts Wednesday at 8 p.m. online only. Only at Fleet Farm.
Brighten up your home, workplace, or event with flowers and trust Welke's Milwaukee Florist to be your local florist. Welke's is family-owned and has delivered beauty for customers and businesses for well over 100 years. Join Welke's Flower subscription so your home is always fresh, or discover the benefits of creating a corporate account and leave the work to them. Welke's Milwaukee Florist has locations in Elm Grove and at 56th and North in Milwaukee. Go to welkes.com, that's WELKES.com for more info and to place an order.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford.
Joining us on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman is our guy, Brian Balaga. You'll hear Brian from 5 to 6 on the Homer Hour. Brian, what's up?
How we doing, guys?
Doing fantastic. Got a little brain buster for you out the gates here. If you could only have one victory between the Niners this week or the Lions in 2 weeks, which victory would you take?
I would take. That's a good question. I think I'm gonna take this one right now.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna take this one right now.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna take this one right now. I'm gonna take the game in hand. Get what does that put them at? 9-3. Or 8-3 gets them to 8-3 with how many games in between to get to Detroit? So
one game. The next game would be the Finns on Thanksgiving, and then you got the Detroit Lions on a Thursday night.
All right, so you can get to 9-3 with still a chance to beat Detroit, right? That doesn't mean you're guaranteed to lose. It just means you're not guaranteed to win.
Correct. Just based off this.
I mean,
yes.
I like the chances. So I'm going to take the win right now. For sure.
Yeah, the reason why Brad and I are going, you said
I said San Francisco.
You said Niners
Kyle,
too.
Kyle.
Well, Brad's like, it helps the wild card and the way they would
analytics and numbers.
I want to beat the best, Brian. I want to be guaranteed that this Packers team goes into Ford Field, a tough place to beat the Lions, where they're really good at home, Goff indoors. And just take it from them. Go in there, and that would prove to me this Packers team can make that second half run. I want that guarantee.
Yeah, well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I guess my question is Green Bay more the indoor team? That's my question. I mean, we saw what the Lions did that's what the Lions did. The Lions went outdoors, and they look pretty good outdoors so far. I mean, they've played a lot of games out in the elements, and they look pretty good. So now, Green Bay, they're going to start playing a lot of these games inside. How do they look inside? They looked pretty good last year inside, if we remember. So let's see how they start to look when they start getting indoors on turf.
We'll push back a little bit. I think the Lions' schedule has them at like 14 games out of their 17 indoors, which is wild considering the road game portion.
Yeah, their first road game on their first game on grass was in Lambeau.
Yep,
wild.
But I still.
Oh, okay. Well, then I mixed that up in my head. I thought that's my fault.
Yeah, no, you're
Way
fine.
to-
But I
way
still
to
understand
fact-check
the
me.
taking the now. I mean, getting to 8-3 and guaranteeing yourself a shot at the playoffs and taking down the 49ers. Because a portion of this is too right now is people don't want to. Seems like people don't want to see the Niners, right? Kyle's scared.
Yeah.
In the playoffs?
No, even with that.
If they're 5-5 and they go to 5-6 and the Cardinals separate themselves, like there ain't going to be a wild card team coming out of the NFC West.
Yeah, and I going to that 49ers question, and Bulaga, do players know about the history? Because the Packers haven't beat the 49ers in the playoffs in over a decade, and the Packers right now seem to be like, hey, we remember what happened in the playoffs last year. Do guys kind of know? I mean, you lost a lot of games, unfortunately, to the 49ers in the playoffs. Do guys kind of have that feel where they get up for this game, where they say, we got to beat this team?
Yeah, I'm not sure if regular season wins make up for playoff losses. You know what I mean? I don't know if those two things equal each other out. At least in my mind, they never did. Like losing to Seattle in the playoffs, it never felt as good beating them in the regular season as if we would have beat them in the playoffs. So I don't know if they equate, but I'll tell you, it gives you a little mental boost, beating them and kind of taking care of business in season. If potentially you see them again in the playoffs, knowing that you got it done, it can be done going forward. So it's all a mental game, but it's how guys prepare themselves and get themselves up for the game. For me personally, I never thought losing to a team in the playoffs, we got to get them back next year. Like, hey, man, last year was last year. It's a new year, new team. As we see, both teams are going in a completely opposite direction at this point in the season, right? San Francisco looks like a way different football team than what we remember them last year. And Green Bay, while they are winning games, not the way they did last year, they're stacking wins and they're going in the positive right direction. So they're going opposite ways of this thing. So, it's hard to compare the two teams from last year.
Brian, we just had a pretty spirited debate that was brought up by a member of KBN Nation that said, you know what, given Jair, that he's been so inconsistent, even just getting on the field, going back 3 years now, he's 60% of the time he plays and it looks like he might be out for a little bit with a re-injured PCL. We talked about, did we trade the wrong guy last year? Should we have traded Jair and kept Rasul, who's basically paid 100% of the time, might lack Jair's ceiling, but at least you got availability. Did the Packers trade the wrong cornerback last year?
No, I don't think we could play the hindsight game. It's not really one I like to do. I don't think
I will
so.
remember.
Listen,
Brian Bulaga, no hindsight game.
Yeah, I'm not. That's not my thing. I'm the move that they made the move. I'm not. It has no knock on Rasul Douglas at all. I think Jair, obviously, his injury situation right now is not ideal, and it hasn't been for the last few years. It sucks for him. It really does, and it sucks for his teammates and guys that are counting on him and want to be there for him. It's a tough situation, and I can understand how fans are frustrated. I've been in that situation, not as kind of consistent as he's been, and unfortunately, fortunately for me, but unfortunately for him, where injuries just kind of happen and they continue to happen, and you just can't kick them. So I get where he's at, but I think we all know the talent he has. It's just getting him on the field in a consistent manner, and that's been the struggle. And I understand people's angst about it. I get it, but man, it's hard to say we got rid of the wrong guy when you have an all-pro type corner on the roster. That's just the way, because those guys don't come around often.
Brian Bulaga here with us for just a little bit longer before the Homer Hour from 5 to 6. And Brian, as we look ahead to Sunday, this is a desperate 49ers team. They're 5-5. They're fighting to not go below 500 and stay in the race for the NFC West. If you had to put a blueprint out there, if you're Coach Bulaga, right, what do you think your blueprint would be to beating the 49ers if you could build sort of your perfect scenario?
To beat the 49ers. Well, you have to know going into this, San Francisco, offensively, they've kind of been really out of character, right? Like they're normally a run the football type team, like control the ball, and they've been all over the place. So if I'm trying to play the 49ers, I'm trying to play their game right back at them. I'm trying to control the ball, keep them off the field, and just make them have as little possession as possible. So when they do, they feel like they got to put the game in Purdy's hands, which I'm not sure, as what we've seen so far this year, is the best thing for them at this point.
I agree. Josh Jacobs game. Let's get a Josh Jacobs game. Let's get every red zone touch downhill. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, I'm good with it. Have a good one, guys.
That's Brian Balaga. You'll hear Brian coming up next.